affordable housing. DHA interim CEO Josh Crawley says 96 of the units are for seniors and disabled individuals. They're also partnering with Denver Health on some of the units.
The building will have 14 units that will be for Denver Health patients transitioning out of the hospital, but not quite ready for independent living.
The first residents are moving in this week. A verdict is possible today in the trial of an accused cop killer as jury deliberations are underway. Last year, Arvada officer Dylan Vakoff was shot outside an apartment complex while trying to break up a family fight that started over child custody. Suspect Sonny Almanza took the stand yesterday, saying he was shot and fired back in self-defense. He claims he didn't know police had arrived. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Peppermint Frosty.
Just north of town, I-25 northbound at Erie Parkway. That's exit 232. A crash in the right lane has slow driving back from 470. Into Denver proper, we're starting to see traffic calm down. The turnpike still busy into and out of downtown I-25, both north and southbound between Alameda and Colfax. For folks heading to DIA, I-70 eastbound, some stop-and-go traffic starting at Peoria all the way to Pena Boulevard. 225 northbound, that off-ramp to I-70 eastbound also congested. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, high of 64 this afternoon. Overnight low of 29. Tomorrow we're seeing snow, temperatures dropping with a high of 39. The current temperature in Denver is 52 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The holidays are back, and you know what else is back? Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. So take some time for yourself with this cold and creamy treat this year. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, everyone in safe, even the mouse. The family was sleeping all tucked in with care. With Daddy's Triple J training, no intruder would dare. There's ammo, accessories, pistols, and an indoor range to boot. Visit Triple J Armory for all your Christmas loot. Our big Christmas sale this weekend will come. Savings on firearms, bulk ammo, and accessories for your gun. TripleJArmory.com for all the info you seek. Triple J Armory in Littleton. Come down and take a peek.
At Colorado Voice Clinic, Dr. David Opperman and his whole team believe in restoring more than just voices. They restore hope. If you or a loved one is facing vocal challenges due to Parkinson's disease or other degenerative illnesses, Colorado Voice Clinic is here to help. Their state-of-the-art treatments truly make a difference. You can learn more at their website at coloradovoiceclinic.com. Let's bring your voice back to life. Get in touch today at coloradovoiceclinic.com.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Hey, it's Dan. Join me today at 4. We'll dive into the latest craziness from D.C. and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and I welcome you to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. All you have to do is call us, and the number is very easy. It's 303-MARTINO 24/7. Call it 24/7. Leave a message. We'll get back to you even. You don't have to wait. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. And, of course, you can call the in-studio number when you know we're here. Doesn't matter if you know or not, but if you call, we'll answer 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Today we talk a little bit about estate planning and other things. We have Jim Park with us from Keelan Park. But anything on your mind, give us a call. We love discussing things. Yes, we do. For example, waterpros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices anywhere. All you have to do is give us a call. That's right. And you get the best systems anywhere. And I'm telling you, drinking water under $1,000. Compare that to a plumber. You know, we compared some prices. Plumbers start at triple the cost, sometimes double for the more expensive ones. It's amazing. 303-862-99. Oh, God. Mark, go ahead, make your joke. 303-862-5554. Go ahead, make your joke. Make your joke.
No
Get it
joke,
over with.
no joke.
Write it down, Dragon, for the lawsuit. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Jim, Jim Park, attorney at law. I tell these guys since I turned 70, I get a lot of jokes. And I think that should go on the pleading, right? On the complaint, jokes. Is that ageism or is that humor? Is humor allowed? I don't know. How do you stand there?
You know, attorneys love to hear attorney jokes, and so we've got to be able to dish it out too.
So you're saying that I should just accept it?
I think that's the only real way to go about it.
Then I'm going to mix in with estate planning today attorney's jokes. What do you call 8 attorneys skydiving?
Skydiving? I don't know.
Jim,
what?
You got to talk closer to that mic. Of course, I have to instruct attorneys because...
True.
We all know.
What is that?
The
What's
requirement
the
to
answer
get
to
to law
this?
school is to fog a mirror. Okay, no. 8 attorneys skydiving. Air pollution.
How about 8 attorneys at the bottom of the ocean?
Water pollution.
Good start.
Jim Park, actually Keelan Park, great people. And the number one problem, I'll bet you, with estate planning, no plan. Right? Isn't that basically it?
Absolutely.
Just no plan.
They've got kids, they've got assets, and they don't know what to do, and so they get frozen.
Jim, I'm gonna make a confession here. I swear to God, I've started my plan 16 times, and I have it 3/4 done. I have a trust formed. I don't have it funded. I don't know. It's easy to want to put it off.
It absolutely is, and you know the attorneys make more money if people don't do it because then they get caught up in probate. And that's where the real fees come, and that's where the real heartache is.
Now, we have our other expert on real estate here, O'Brien Legal Services, which, by the way, can be part of an estate plan. Of course, you can do beneficiaries deeds, right? He does beneficiaries deeds. Those are where you leave a house and it automatically goes to the owner at death or to the beneficiary at death.
Yeah, it's a great way to pass real estate.
Yeah. So Brad O'Brien is with us to answer a question. And which one is he answering here? This is for... this is for Mickey. Yeah. So, Brad, thanks for being here as always. Brad O'Brien, olslaw.com. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to have a real estate attorney for even simple transactions, just to review stuff. Anyway, Mickey, this is not a transaction that normally you would think of an attorney for, but I want to go over it for Mickey. So, Brad, I'm going to have Mickey start her story as I pull up my call sheet here. But tell us your story, Mickey. It's your daughter, isn't it? Your granddaughter, I mean.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on the air right now.
Okay. It's my granddaughter that I raised since she was a baby.
Yeah.
And she and her boyfriend lived in an apartment provided by the Aurora Housing Authority, and he was killed.
Now, he was the one, though. He was the one on the lease, not her. Is that right?
Yes. And so he was killed Sunday night in a motorcycle accident, and now they're
just this past Sunday. Okay, so he was on. Hold on, he
was supposed to be out this morning by 10 o'clock.
Right, Mickey. He was the only one. Mickey,
say that it's all the family, and all of his stuff has to be returned to the
Mickey,
family.
I'm going to put you on hold for a sec. Okay, we need to get to the meat. I'm going to be asking you questions. You're going to give me answers.
To figure out what she needs.
Okay. Kachina, talk to her, please, because I really need to help her out here. So she's still wound up. So have her just answer my questions. That's going to be easier right now. We have an attorney waiting, okay? Is she still talking? Yes, she's still talking, okay. We're going to have to, I'm going to make something where I can send an electric jolt down the telephone line. We love helping people, and I love hearing stories, and I know people, especially my YouTube morons, say, don't interrupt. Screw you, okay, YouTube morons. You come here, try to do a better job. If you don't interrupt now and then, we'd have an 8-hour show, okay? Now, is Mickey ready to... Okay, Mickey, thank you, dear. Mickey, a couple questions. Number one, he is the only one on that lease. I got to be very clear on that. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Was she named anywhere on the lease as living there?
The first lease, yes, but that.
I'm talking about this lease. Mickey, this lease. Is she named anywhere in this current lease as a resident?
No.
Does the lease say that he lives there alone?
No.
Okay. Now, this lease is rental assistance through Housing Authority?
The Aurora Housing Authority.
Okay,
yes.
got it. And when is this particular lease up?
Well, they were given a 30-day notice to vacate, which is up tomorrow.
The 30 days expires tomorrow?
And that's prior to the death.
Now, that was prior to the death. Why were they given a 30-day notice to vacate?
Because they hadn't paid the rent.
How long have they not paid the rent?
1 month.
So they didn't pay for November?
Right.
And they were given a 30-day notice to vacate, and they were planning to leave. He dies Sunday. She's there, doesn't know what to do. They tell her to be out by 8 o'clock this morning. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, Brad O'Brien.
Real quick, though, on a side note, how did he die on the motorcycle? What happened?
He ran a red light and ran into his van and was thrown from the motorcycle, and another car turning left hit him.
Oh, it's horrible.
He didn't kill anyone, did he, running the red light?
No, just himself.
Okay. Well, it's good no one else was killed by his negligence. Brad O'Brien, what do you think on this? If he's the only one on the lease, he had been given notice prior to this. The 30 days is up tomorrow. What happens if she doesn't leave?
Well, the landlord would like her out tomorrow, but it can't lock the change the locks or lock her out. That would be self-help, and that's illegal.
So what can they do?
The landlord still has to go to court and run the eviction process, and until the sheriff shows up at the culmination of that process, she can't be physically evicted.
Okay. Now, Mickey, we're not trying to make it hard on them because the landlord is not at fault here, but weren't they planning to let's say he hadn't died Sunday. It seems to me that they were planning to leave tomorrow, right? Weren't they packed up at least?
No.
What were they planning to do? This guy didn't know he was going to die Sunday night, and Sunday is just a few days ago, so he knew they had to be out in less than a week, and so did she. Why weren't they?
They had applied for rental assistance, and they had to have a 10-day eviction notice to get rental assistance, and it was going to be the whole rent was going to be.
So
paid.
they were waiting for an official. They never got an official eviction notice.
No, eviction wasn't the word.
Okay, it was simply a demand letter.
Right, the 30-day, please move out.
Okay, so if she gets a 10-day letter, is there a such thing, Brad, as a 10-day eviction notice?
Well, that's the normal, but sometimes it can be extended to 30 days.
Okay.
If there's some public housing involved.
Let's say there's 10 day. Let's say it's a 10-day notice. If she gets one, can she get rental assistance, Mickey?
It was applied for in Alejandro's name.
Okay, so she has no prayer of getting. She needs to get out of there. So what she needs to do, truly, I'm going to give you practical advice. And it's not the best advice. It's not legal advice. It's practical advice. She has until the sheriff comes to move her out. And that could be how long, Brad? If that guy goes today for an eviction or notices, how long does that woman have to leave if she claims that was part of her residence too?
Oh, it could be a month from now.
Yeah. Is that the soonest they can do it?
Yeah, realistically. And the sheriff's own calendar sometimes makes it even longer.
But Mickey, that means that she's going to find another place. Does she have another place to go to?
Not yet.
She's not obligated to take his stuff either, but that's up to her. She needs to get a place.
The manager says she has to give all of his stuff to the ones that are listed as emergency contacts, and that's his parents.
Of course. English. That's his stuff. Yeah, of course. They weren't married.
Nope.
So, Mickey, what you should do, and by the way, is that true? Jim Park, as she was living with him, but the emergency contacts were listed as the parents. Are the landlords right in saying we can only give it to his emergency contact?
Yeah, unless she has some claim that she paid for the property. If she's not married, there's no
Is there anything
there.
she wants of his? And let me ask you this. How would the landlord know what's hers and what's his if she moves out and takes stuff? If she takes a TV, let's say, that is technically his, how would the landlord know?
They won't.
Okay.
And she's going through the stuff now. There's some tools involved that they bought together.
Mickey, listen. Again, this is not legal advice, but just listen, okay, carefully. Just listen. Get her the hell out of there as soon as possible. Let her take what she wants and get out. Okay? Just get out and get another place. Don't tell the landlord, oh, by the way, or the emergency contacts, by the way, these tools were bought together. This is mine, that's his. This is mine, that's his. Just take what she wants and get the hell out of there. I'm telling you. Who's going to do anything? Come on. I mean, and by the way, no attorney's telling you this. I'm not telling you this as an attorney. I'm not telling you this as anything but a friend. Get the hell out of there as soon as possible. Don't wait for the 30 days to be up. Don't call me the day before you hear the sheriff's coming. It might be, if it's 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks, use a week or two. Get out of there. That's what she needs to do. At least she didn't have to get out 8 o'clock this morning. Don't let them strong arm you, but please do it. And let me know how it goes. Now, by the way, Brad O'Brien, olslaw.com, 720-370-7388. Brad, on these notices, get out by 8 in the morning, is that like more of a request? Because I never heard of that. Is that more like a request?
It's just the landlord being heavy-handed. Can't act on it.
All right. Thank you very much, as always, Brad O'Brien. Mary, this is very curious to me. Mary, real quick, the repossession law. Did you just have a car repossessed?
12th.
What's that?
It was the 10th of November.
All right, hold on, and I'll come right back to you. I'm Tom Martino. Mickey. Yeah, I have it here, so I can't. You know, right. I did this for my car, which is convenient, but then you can't charge the damn thing. You got to take the cover off every time you charge it. I can't find her call. I know I had.
So I have a follow up on that. That dog from yesterday, the dog that got killed.
Okay. Good. You know, One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the place that you want for your garage doors. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Why? Because they will come 24/7 for an emergency, possibly. If you have an emergency and you need someone there to fix your garage door, like a broken spring, it won't open or close, for security, they can get out there. They can also help you, of course, with any problems that you have on your garage door. And all of their prices are fully disclosed right on their website, OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 720-370-3987. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. We just talked to a real estate attorney. Well, let's talk about a real estate broker who helps you buy or sell property. One of the great things about Frank Duran, the real estate man, is that Frank will give you an analysis of what your house will sell for, and he will do that without having, listen to this, without having to list your home, no obligation to list. He'll go over the pluses and the minuses, and he'll go over the house, the comps, the neighborhood, the interest rates, supply and demand, to give you a pretty accurate appraisal of what, not an appraisal, I shouldn't say that, evaluation of what you'll actually net for that sale and what you could possibly buy. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. 888heating.com is very busy right now doing replacements, but unlike normal furnace and air replacements, they do high efficiency, and they're the experts at that with special pricing to make it not only worth it to get it installed, but to make it a great system to save you money month after month after month. 888heating.com, great people, great prices, great products, good for the environment, good for your pocketbook. 303-770-2776, 770-2776. Hey, Jazz, how are you? Did you come to bask in my glory? That's okay.
I
People
figured
like
we'll
doing
open it with the tea,
And,
but look at this. Look at the wrapping. Isn't that fun?
Oh, for the tea.
Isn't that
Okay, you're
cute?
going to open.
Do you want to, or you want me to open it now?
I want you to open it when we're on the air, huh?
You want to open it on the air?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's got a baby and husband waiting out in the parking lot.
They're fine.
Hey, hold on.
No husband, just the
Jazz,
baby.
You should have. How old's your baby?
I got 3. I got a 10.
They're all out there?
No, just one. The other 2 are at school.
How old is the one out there?
Oh my gosh, she'll be 3 next.
I love babies. You should have brought her in. We love babies and puppies. Have them come up.
Babies and puppies.
That's a lot
Last
of work.
Christmas, we had 2 bulldog puppies. Do you know that George got a 3rd one? He has a new puppy.
They're not. Are they bulldogs?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were something else.
So Mickey was, rental. Granddaughter was living with boyfriend who died.
Motorcycle.
Landlord
It's pretty long.
had been.
Well, he might have cut it.
Yeah, probably longer.
I think he might have cut his beard a little bit. Looks like Dragon trimmed it up.
Let me see.
I can't talk to him to ask him.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Was it Shannon's looking
Did you cut your beard, bro?
No. Guess I just thought it would be longer.
Not a chance.
Oh.
No.
Come again.
What would make you think that?
Suzanne just said it looks like you cut your beard.
Suzanne. No.
She said it'd be a damn good thing if you did.
What?
I know. What? Oh, my God.
Jeez.
She just said you're ugly as hell.
I thought we were friends.
He's upset
Guess
with you.
not.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? Brad O'Brien.
I don't think I can print from in here, can I?
He does remote a lot. So that must be what he means. Oh, he must be joking.
1 to 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta move.
Hammer.
Move the Christmas party.
Oh, KOA. Yeah.
Well, I won't be here anyway. I'll be freaking blind. I can't wear contacts for 24 hours after they do this crap. So, I mean, like, I can't look at my phone. I probably can't really watch television.
Are you bringing your peanut in?
Local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ideal Home Loans still doing home loans with the interest rate guarantee, so if rates go down even more, you get refinanced free of charge. Yeah, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. So Mary's got a question on the repo law. She said her car was repossessed on the 10th, I believe she said. So, Mary, what's happening with you? Hello, Mary.
Hi. And actually, it was my daughter, so I don't have like all the amounts.
So your daughter's car was repossessed for non-payment?
Well, apparently, they just purchased it in late January, early February, not even a year old. And I do know because I made some payments in August myself for $1,650.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's assume that it was because, I mean, in other words, I don't think they would go through the trouble of repossessing it without a reason, right?
Right.
So they repossessed it, and what's happening now?
Well, I guess they took it to the lot, and she had to make an appointment and go get her personal info out of it. They say the best I can figure out is they're going to sell it at auction,
Yeah.
and then she's going to be responsible for the balance.
Here's what they do. They sell it for what they can. They apply that to the loan and legal fees and repossession fees. Then they go after her with a judgment for the balance.
Uh-huh.
She should look at bankruptcy.
Well, let's put it this way. Can she make up what's owed? Hold on a second, all right? Because here's what I want to do. Jazz, come over here. Jazz has her baby girl with us. She dropped in to give us a Christmas present. Why? She's just a listener. Hint, hint to other listeners. You can drop in with gifts. No, Jazz, come over here. What's her name?
Kira.
We love peanuts here. Kira. Hi, honey.
Tom's scaring her.
Oh, no. Kids love me. What? What did she say?
She's saying that she's Anna. She's in a whole frozen phase right now.
Oh, you're Anna. Are you Anna? You're Anna. Can you sing the song, Anna? Okay, fine. Prima donna Anna. Okay, listen. You came to give us a gift. Suze, open that gift so we can ooh and ah over it. It must. I'm hoping it's expensive. Jazz, thank you, by the way, for coming to do this. Last year you brought us some mugs that we still have, or some glasses that are etched. Now, so and I was just kidding about other listeners dropping off, bringing gifts in. You can just mail them to me. Oh man, these are cool. Troubleshooter hats, are they? Wow. I love this. You are really... Okay, cool. Look at this.
She makes everything,
They're
too.
nice. Did you make these?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Well, that one's a mess up. Look at the same. That one's a mess up.
Oh, that was a mess up. Okay.
Then what?
We got the Troubleshooter hats, babe. We're on. Anna.
Tommy, you got okie doke. And then
Oh,
the other
that's
one
cool. That's
says-
Mark's, for
and then
sure.
yours is, and then what?
Okay, and then what? Oh, okay. I want mine. And then what? There. Thank you. Hey, Anna, I'll call you Anna out of respect because you want to be called. You identify as a princess. I love it. Now, Anna, does this look good on me?
Does it look good?
Okay.
All you need is an 18-wheeler.
You can't make a 3-year-old perform. And what's your husband's name? Jared, thank you for coming by. We really do appreciate it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Last year we had babies on the show. Do you remember?
I don't.
Bulldog babies.
Oh, that's right. Little ones.
From George. George had 2 little bulldogs, and he got another one from Fix It 24/7. He has a 3rd bulldog puppy, which he should have brought in, and he didn't. When his rep was on yesterday, Hannah was on for Fix It yesterday. He should have dropped by with the puppy, and he didn't. Now, Mary, I want to go back to you because this is serious. I don't want to make light of it. The law is very clear on repossessions, okay? Unless you want to tackle the repossession and the legitimacy of it, but I don't think you should waste your time. Honest, most lenders know what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
How much is due for that car right now?
Well, I don't know. Thinking $30,000 they got a year ago.
No, I'm talking about, will they allow her to pay off what's due, or are they accelerating the loan, which means are they requiring the entire payoff?
See, I don't know about that. I'm
okay,
sorry.
that's what here's the thing. Here's what I want to tell you. It may not be worth it to retrieve the car. They may have paid too much, blah, 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 right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
if they come after her, is she on this car with someone else?
No, it was a bad relationship, bad deal.
But it's her only on the car.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And how much was the payment? Do you know?
Well, I paid in August about $1,650, and
God.
do you
That's
think
not the car payment. That can't be the car payment. She must have been.
unless it's 2 months. In fact,
Yeah,
that's
you know
I was
what? They probably accelerate the loan. What that means is this. Sometimes when you miss a few payments, there's an acceleration clause in there which says, hey, you're a deadbeat. We don't want you back. You got to pay the whole thing. Now, what Mark was talking about, a bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come after her for a judgment. You don't go for a bankruptcy until they do.
Well, I assume she's also got credit card debt and everything else, right? And
Right.
And I'm pretty sure if she did the bankruptcy now, even if they didn't have the judgment, it would still be covered.
I'm not sure, Mark. I'm not. Sometimes, I mean, there's some tricks in that, but I would That's really her only hope. What were you hoping for as far as, advice? What were you thinking?
Well,
what
I
were
was
you
just
thinking?
Kind of, well, I just have never had anything to do with this. So don't they have to give you legal papers or notice or something like
Of
that?
course.
I don't.
Of course. She's going to get all that. Notice to cure. Yeah.
But before they took the car.
No.
They don't do that.
No.
They don't do that before they take the car.
No, they don't. They don't warn you they're taking the car. Absolutely not. You just have
It'd
to
be kind of silly. You'd hide it.
You just have to be in default.
Right, and isn't it true that once you default on a loan, it becomes their property automatically?
No. Well, okay. Under the securities, it's a promissory note and security agreement. Under the security agreement, it technically does not become their property. It becomes their privilege to take it and sell it. It becomes their property during that process. Technically, it's still her car. That's why they can get the judgment, because she didn't pay the loan. But it's who's the lender, by the way?
Canvas Credit Union.
Yeah, I don't want you to waste your time. They know what they're doing. I'm just being straight with you here. I know a lot of people try to find technicalities, but let's go there. Let's say they did. Let's say they were supposed to notify her and they didn't. Okay? Do you know what that means? That means she gets the car back, then she notifies them and takes the car. Or here's the real point. No matter what you do to delay this, does she have the money to pay it off? No. See?
No.
So that's the main thing. And I've said that a lot when it comes to lawsuits and everything else. If you delay the service, if you show the service was not done correctly, if you delay this or if you delay that, or if you find a technicality, have you really solved the problem? The answer is no. Solving this problem goes beyond her ability to pay, so therefore, that's when you talk about a bankruptcy. 303-713-TALK. Gary's got a question about Sleaze Brigade. We got to take a break, Gary, but what is the question? We'll ruminate on it during the break. What's your question about it?
Hey, Tom, we talked numerous times about this hot tub thief.
Oh,
about going on the Sleaze Brigade, and I haven't seen him on there yet.
That's right. The guy that you paid about $1,200 for a repair, and he was in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah, we went to small claims. He didn't show up. It was
Right.
defaulted.
Okay, you hold on. We'll come right back, and I'll tell you why. Okay, we're working on it, but I think you even sent me a picture. I want to verify that. More right after this on the Troubleshooter Show.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Peppermint Frosty.
Slowdowns continue just north of town, I-25 northbound at Erie Parkway. That's exit 232. A crash in the right lane has stopped up traffic back from Highway 7. We're seeing about 21 minutes of delays. South end of downtown, some usual slowdowns. I-25 southbound between I-70 and Spear. I-70 westbound, slow traffic between Colorado Boulevard and I-25. And, of course, through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, your usual stop and go approaching Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. It's the last warm day for a while, folks. High 64 this afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Overnight low of 29 degrees, and enjoy it while it lasts. Tomorrow, snow, high 39. The current temperature in Denver is 57 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
You don't know until you experience that yourself.
Now I look at this pain in the ass and I say, what? You were a cute little baby? Listen, it is the season, I know, to be jolly and all that, right? It's also a season for broken pipes, frozen pipes, for electrical fires, for hazards, for all kinds of things that happen to homes, flooding. And here's the deal. No matter when it is, no matter what season it is, no matter when it happens, you have to call the right people to stop the danger and then to mitigate the damage and start rebuilding. And your insurance will cover most of it, but they only pay once. And a lot of people, they pay sleaze companies. And when they do, that's it. You're done. You got to call the right company up front. And who is that? American Restoration 24/7. The number 8337-AM-REST. Rock and his team have the EPA certifications, knowledge, know-how, and everything to get the job done correctly. 8337-AM-REST. Okay, Sheridan Auto Tech, they'll get the job done. What job? I'm talking about your car repair and maintenance, including electrical issues. And here's something else they do, pre-buy inspections for your cars before you buy them. I love it. They know what to look for. That's SheridanAutotech.com. Somebody you can trust. Kevin and his team will treat you like family. 303-455-7242, 455-7242.
Sorry.
Look, see Stephanie. Every time she runs into a baby, you see? Now, here's what happens.
I'm that way with puppies.
Here's what happens, and she does that too. But when we run into babies, her mom has this little thing where she makes baby blankets. And Stephanie gives them away. So she has pink, blue, and the yellow for in between. So she gives them away. And
What is the in between?
You know, it's like sometimes if someone's pregnant, she'll
They
give
don't
the
know.
yellow one, or if someone wants a yellow one because they have a blue one or they have a pink one. So yellow is something that you give at a lot of parties when you don't know what the baby's going to be, or when parents prefer it.
So she makes the blankets, huh? She knits them?
Crap.
And so she carries them around.
Your relationship with this interface is my relationship with that computer at this point.
They can't believe
Cloud-based services are great when they work.
Yeah, exactly.
When they don't,
she gets a baby blanket.
Why?
She puts a little tag on it and sends it to Stephanie.
Free shipping and huge savings on laptop station. Please go to KHouse.
So listen, I'm looking at my credit card receipts for Dolce and Bonnie, and I give them a card for emergencies, right? Food, incidentals here and there. I don't want them to be out with friends. Can't. Okay.
Well, you won't because
I notice on there $875 for Dolce.
Do it
Yep, nothing at all.
I knew it'd be hair. I fucking knew it.
Finish it up.
No.
all
The
you
next
do.
month, $397. The next month,
And I'm not
$400.
gonna be around forever.
I said, Dolce,
Make it
this is done. This is over. Extensions and treatments and all that, they're so extensions alone, just nothing else. Extensions are $350 or $400.
Yeah.
And then you gotta dye them to match,
And then you gotta have them
you gotta weave them in.
retightened
Then you
and
have to have them
The
redone.
maintenance.
I said, you're not in a position to do this. Since when is that a necessity?
Well,
Holy crap, man! Last night I was already upstairs, kind of like
tell her
with the dog
tell her
and the
Mark
cat,
goes to
just
Sports
kinda
Clips.
hanging
It's
out up in my
$21
bedroom.
and he loves it.
Like 9:15.
I mean,
somebody
swear to
rings
God, I'll
my
bet you-
doorbell, and I'm like,
when I look,
because
no.
Amazon delivery.
No.
Amazon delivery. I was like,
His
you're
shows up on
delivering at 9:15
But
at
Bonnie,
night.
though, I treat.
They don't ring the doorbell in the middle of the day when I'm home.
Right?
He wants
They
almost
just leave
creative.
it.
He wants almost creative. He
Yeah.
has a
Same
beautiful
thing for us.
keyboard and a mixer, and he makes
Yeah, it was just
really
after
good
9.
music.
Yeah,
and he has his
Yeah.
buddies.
My wife's like, packages!
And he's using it for an audition.
Jumps
for
out of
college,
bed.
for the music
your
program.
Where do you want to go to college?
But I mean,
MIT.
it's also
First
like,
choice is,
what? Wait, hold on. Why are you? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? You're delivering after 9 o'clock? I mean, I was already in my pajamas.
A lot of them do say between, before 10
Yeah,
p.m. or whatever. So
I
it's like,
know,
okay,
but
get
I
it.
thought
mean,
Pepperdine was only
But at
girls.
least we can be thankful
No.
they bring the doorbell. Also,
Was it
they're
ever only girls?
Overnight.
Do they have completely different campuses?
Here we go.
Oh my God! I thought Pepperdine was honest to God just female.
No.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Gary, got your call pulled up here. Welcome to the show. That $1,200 for parts. Did you email me? I was trying to find it. I think you did. You emailed me his picture, didn't you?
I did, and then all the information.
I promise you, I'm going to get that on Sleaze Brigade before the end of the week. I'll work on that later today. I have a production queue, I call it, and I have Sleaze Brigade I'm going to right now, and I'll be a son of a gun if you didn't send it to me. And he has a cigarette. Is that a cigarette in his mouth?
I think it is. He's disgusting.
It looks like a joint, actually. It's a joint. Yeah, so there's your money right there, bro. This guy, he lives in your neighborhood. Have you tried to serve him or anything?
I just dropped off the interrogatories 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you got the default judgment. That's right. You know, the interrogatories, if he ignores this, you can get a contempt of court. Mark, do you remember that one guy that our attorney?
Jay Lopez.
But do you remember the attorneys, you loved the strategy. Explain what he did. Do you remember what he did? When he got the contempt charge, he would make the fine the amount of what was owed.
Well, that's the judge. That wasn't an attorney.
But the attorney suggested it to the judge.
I don't recall that.
I think he did. I think we thought it was ingenious because then if he defaulted, that fine.
Yeah, if this guy served the interrogatories and this guy does not fill them out and return them to the court within 30 days, then you can go back down there and ask for a contempt charge. The judge will grant it, and they'll grant it for the amount of whatever is owed. The problem is, are they going to take someone to jail these days?
No.
For this kind of judgment.
But you know what? Who knows? Probably not. I mean, you can steal, lie, cheat, do anything, steal cars. Colorado doesn't care about crime, but maybe it'll still shake him up a bit. Here's the other thing. You said he lives down the street. Is he renting or does he own?
Him and his girlfriend, I believe, own.
Wow. You might want to do an O&E on that house. That's
What's
called
that?
an ownership and encumbrances. What you do is you get your real estate person or title company or someone to run that address, find out who owns it, what they owe, what equity's there. You know, you can take that small claims judgment and put a lien on their house. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
I'm telling you, you can make their life hell.
I'm just waiting for him to respond to the interrogatories. He has 14 days, and if he doesn't, then they can send out a bench warrant, is what I understand.
First, the contempt and bench, right? Okay.
Okay.
Keep in touch. I will get that up there, bro. I really will. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, Gary, hold on. Get his number in case I need to call Gary. He may have given it to me. Yeah, he did. Never mind. I may have to call him. Sometimes when I'm posting on the Sleaze Brigade, I have additional questions. Handwritten wills. Every time I have somebody on for estate planning, that question comes up. This is a text. By the way, I should have told you can text the show, 57739. They want to know, they want to handwrite a will. Okay, tell us. I mean, listen, it's so obvious some of the dangers, but go ahead. Talk to us about it. Paul, Keelan Park, tell us about the dangers there.
Yeah, handwriting a will is just a bad idea from start to finish.
It is legal, though.
It is legal. It's called a holographic will, but there are certain requirements. It's got to be signed. It's got to be in your own handwriting. But, man, attorneys make so much money from people thinking that they can skip the process and not pay up front and do it on their own, and then it ends up with all sorts of family issues and challenges on the back end.
So, I mean, it really, in the long run, truly it's not worth it. It really isn't.
100% not worth it.
And look, if someone wants to do a handwritten will, I'm assuming they have a simple estate. Let's just say it. What does it take? How much would it cost for the simplest of, let's say the simplest of wills? Approximate cost.
Yeah, you can go online and you can do it for a couple $100. Usually you get what you pay for there. A really simple estate, you can get a decent will with powers of attorney and everything for $500 in a lot of cases. And you know, you save so much money on the back end, and you don't put your family through all the crap that goes through that.
Okay, I'm sorry, and it's Jim. I don't know why I call you Paul, but because I was looking at something else here on the text.
Yeah.
Sorry. Make your joke, Mark. See, I bait him into joking.
It has nothing to do with his age when he forgets stuff, though.
Yeah, you're
I've
right.
got 5 kids, and I call them the wrong names all the time. It's
But
okay.
reality is the truth. I mean, people can see what he's doing. We don't have to empathize it. People can obviously see that Tom's losing it slowly but surely.
Oh, listen to this.
Listen to the 90-year-old.
Is there an expression the pot calling the kettle black?
Yes.
Hey, I mean, Doc, I gotta say something. Doc's got the Biden shuffle down to the T, bro. He's got it down to the T. The Biden shuffle, I call it. Anyway, Anthony, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. And by the way, we'll have some open lines. Get right in, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Anthony, you want to talk about a mortgage. What's happening, Anthony?
It's probably a simple question. I'm betting I know that the answer is no, but I'm wondering if there's any benefit to me as the mortgage holder to keep PMI, or since my home value is above,
You know what?
80%.
I'm going to say something. That is a great question. I'll tell you why it's a great question. Because people assume they can save money. It must be a good idea. But let's talk about that coming right up.
Okay, let's see.
Maybe he means a lot. Look, I don't pay PMI.
I don't know why you would ever pay PMI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, yeah, but can you just drop it, or do they make you refi out of it?
No. You can sometimes just drop it, but there's no reason. They don't have to. So most people end up refining.
And that probably wouldn't make any sense if he's in at 3%, even with the PMI.
That's right. So a lot goes into consideration. Some lenders, if you get an evaluation of your home, they don't give a shit. That PMI is not making them money. That PMI is just protecting them. That's all it is. But a lot of people think, well, the PMI is protecting me too because it'll be less of a...
Yeah, but if they do it internal, it's probably a money line. In other words, they don't necessarily have to buy insurance outside.
Yeah, they don't do that. I don't know of anybody that self-insures for that. But here's the thing about PMI. People reason, well, I'll have less of a deficiency. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Ooh, I like that point. That was on point.
That's the name of the floor covering place we fully endorse for all floor coverings, from your dream home down to a fix and flip. Whether you want luxury vinyl planking, you want carpeting, you want area rugs, you want everything, including tile. They can do it all, and they do such a great job. And Buddy and Karen Mitchell are the experts. They're small enough to give you personalized service, in-house, beautiful installation. It's all guaranteed, and they're big enough to get that pricing you need. 303-731-5380, 731-5380, simplyfloorsinc.com. Now let's talk about Genesis Total Exteriors. When I say total exteriors, I mean it. Think about the outside of your house, the roof, the gutters, right? Even soffits and fascia, siding, windows, doors, decks, railings, outbuildings, painting. They do it all. And here's the great part. If you have storm damage, it's all on one invoice, one contact, one person you trust, and that's Genesis. And that's Mark Szymanski. I've known him for 25 years. 303-679-8509, 679-8509. Genesis, as in the beginning for all you heathens. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. I love my hat. She's a sweetie, and isn't that funny? The girl didn't want to be called. The girl didn't want to be called by her name. She says, "I'm Anna."
Don't you ever go through the I've got to wear twirling dresses,
Yeah.
and they had to twirl. You've got 4 daughters.
Oh my God!
Oh
You
yeah.
have to wear a dress that twirled. Our daughter did.
And it's got to have sparkles that get all over
Where does
everything.
the sun fall in line?
He's number 3 out of 5.
Oh my God, he's buried.
That's his name. It's like the name is 3 out of 5.
He's buried, and that's the problem. Buried. And that means he doesn't get to use the bathroom unless they let him.
He'll be a good husband someday if he lasts that long.
You must have a lot of guns with 4 daughters. Ready to arm up.
I've got a few. Yeah.
One of the stand-up comedians called it dick hockey because you're keeping all these dicks away from your daughters.
That's funny, actually.
Are they in school at the present time?
Yeah, I've got one in college, one that's on a mission for our church, and then a couple in elementary
Where's she
school.
going on a mission?
Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, really?
He's in Flint right now. Not a beautiful
what
place.
church?
Oh, my goodness.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know what? You're bingo. I have 4 clients that are LDS. 4.
Wow.
It's like I attract them. I swear to you.
There you go.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies.
Yep.
Zero Res. You.
Who's the fourth?
I knew you were going to say that. I don't recall, but I know there's 4 because I counted. I have so many Christian clients in general. I really
Yeah.
do. No, I swear to God I do. And I mean really diehard Christians. It's cool.
That's great.
I mean, I don't require that.
I'm a devout atheist.
There you go.
Now, is that in Congress?
No, it is devout because you have to have more faith. You're right.
Wow.
So did you see Book of Mormon?
I did not.
Well, I was just wondering what someone who belongs to that church would think about it. It was a legitimate question.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone to see that
Okay.
one.
You don't want to.
Yeah. It won a lot of awards, though.
I don't like making fun of anybody's faith. I don't care who it is. I don't like making fun of Satan. I mean, I'm serious. I don't want to make somebody belittle somebody for their beliefs. And I believe they should all be on Twitter.
On X, you mean?
Or YouTube or anything. I don't care. I can choose not to watch that shit.
Who is it?
Did you know Zero Res
Oh.
RP Center? You
I knew RP Center. I didn't know Zero Res. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
big
great.
time. In fact, they were all started, and now, of course, they were bought out. But he's still a part of it.
Okay.
But a lot of their franchises. There are certain companies that have prevailing faiths. I'm serious, by the way. I know 3M was the one, and there were certain companies, and they would start some of their meetings in prayer, but they didn't require anything. And I was wondering about the legality, but they just said if you don't want to, fine. But it's
10 seconds, guys.
Yeah, it can get complicated if you're having
Peak 630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Anthony, you want to know about PMI. Private mortgage insurance, that's what it means. What PMI does is it ensures the deficiency, it ensures the equity position for the lender. A lender feels if you have a 80% loan to value, that they have 20% to play with. And that 20% that they have in equity when they take the house should be enough to pay the legal fees and to make them whole if they sell the house on real estate commissions and legal fees. That's the 20% margin they want. That's why they say that 80% loan to value is conventional. In commercial real estate, they go down, they like 70% because there's a little more work. So the PMI, what that does with a home is it says to the lender, if you have a loan out that's more than 80%, if it's a 90% loan or a 95% loan or a 100% loan, we're going to charge you a premium accordingly, and we will insure the margin that's not 80%. So in other words, if you have a 90% loan, they're going to make it as if you have an 80% loan when you foreclose. That's what PMI does. So it only benefits the lender. But then some people say, wait a minute, Tom, it doesn't just benefit the lender, because if they have PMI and they use it, I will have less of a deficiency, and that's true. However, even though you have less of a deficiency, the PMI company ends up coming after you for what they paid out anyway as a subrogation. Right. So you end up in the same position. It doesn't benefit you one tick. Not at all. Mark?
Okay. So
And
now that I've
your
crossed
lender has to drop it when you hit 78%. They have to.
Is that a new law?
Yeah, it should be canceled automatically at that point as well. So if you look at your schedule of payments.
It used to be people had to refi. So did you just read that?
Yeah, I just read it.
When did it come into effect?
I'm not sure, but that is how it is now.
Okay, good. So you...
Right, but for my situation, it only got to that 80% now due to increase in value, not due to payment, the drop from that. So
Right.
I'd have to have their person come out for like an evaluation to evaluate.
Yeah,
it
you
out.
would. You would have to have someone come
Right.
out and do a full-blown...
and have an agreement with them.
Yeah.
But you ought to. It's close enough, and prices have gone up. So give it a try. It will save you money. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up. Noob.
All right.
Correct.
It's in.
I put in another ticket this morning. There's a roundabout for the T drive. T drive is accessible. Well, it says like a number. It's shared, and then the IP of that. But it's not labeled as the T drive anymore, which is why I can't find it. So I had to.
Where does your daughter go to college?
All that crap.
Utah State.
Oh, she's going to Utah State?
Yeah. Yeah, she's studying to be an attorney too.
Really?
I was going to ask you if she was following in Dad's footsteps.
Much to my wife's disappointment, yes, she is.
What did your wife want to do?
Anything else?
But yeah, whenever I click on.
That's what I always say about my son. He majored in ABM, anything but medicine. He just saw how many hours I had to put in, and he said, "I don't want to do that."
It's unfortunate because
Yeah, that's a tough one. Requires a lot of dedication.
I remember another dumbest thing ever. When her girl, her daughter comes home from college and says, "Mom, I got good news and bad news, or worse news. And what's the good news? That junkie drug addict I was dating, I dropped him. What's the worst news? I'm engaged to a law student."
You know, I always tell people, what I should have done was take my practice to Salt Lake City, because Mormons have a lot of babies.
Yes, they do.
I could have retired in 10 years.
Well, so do Catholics.
Yeah, but out here you have a mix. You go to Salt Lake City, everybody's got 8 kids.
Oh, yeah.
I retire in 10 years.
I'm the 9th out of 10 kids in my family.
Right.
So, yeah, I am.
What if I had only known?
Yeah. But you go to medical school and you come out a human being. After law school, it takes you a good 7 to 10 years to just be
Patricia,
livable
it's
again.
Kelly over at the Martino Show. All right, hang on for me.
So tell them when I come back, I have 2 follow-ups from yesterday.
2L.
It's okay.
21. Does she know what she wants to do?
Personal injury.
Okay.
She's very fond of Dan Kaplis, an intern for him. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yep.
Personal injury. So
Yeah.
Follow the
her to
money.
work for him when she graduates, so she is so excited.
You make a lot of money in that area.
Oh, it just dawned on me. Hiram.
Yeah,
So
I wasn't sure
Hiram-
if I should have said that.
Yeah, that just dawned on me.
I figured that's what it was.
His clients are coming. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know Hiram.
Yeah.
Do you know he does comedy? He does stand-up comedy.
Hiram?
Hiram.
No.
You can find him on
No.
YouTube. For real.
Hiram. He does it literally. He'll go down to open mic nights and stuff like that. When I
don't know
first
if he
found
does
out,
since he's
I
been,
doubted it. It is absolutely true.
Mr.
Wow.
Goldstein, how are ya? It's Kelly
I mean,
over at
the
Martino.
cleanest comedian you'll ever meet anywhere. He's very funny, though. It's really
am calling-
amazing.
We have Patricia.
Wow.
You'll have
on
to,
the line,
tease him a
and
little on it.
her
I'm going to have to
husband
Google that. That's
is
crazy.
elderly and
What's
has
his last name?
Alzheimer's, and she wants to divorce him in
Choate.
order to try to help
C-H.
him.
Yeah.
So she's kind of confused, which
Yeah.
is
Like
why
the-
we
like
wanted
the
to
school.
put you on from the divorce standpoint.
That's a
but
huge
also
private school back east, I think in New Hampshire.
something of that matter. So that's
Yeah.
what the dealio.
Very exclusive.
All right, hang on.
There, dude, he's on YouTube. You gotta find him on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
Did he move to Utah? Where did he
He
move?
moved to Berthoud. Didn't move to birthday?
Yeah, he's down there.
Yep, there he is. Oh, wait. No, that's a different guy.
I thought you could find him on YouTube.
Well, I think I've watched him on YouTube, or I've definitely watched him on video. I just don't remember where.
Are we already through the first hour? Holy cow.
Did you hear Harvard and those people talking on Capitol Hill yesterday? Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
What were they saying?
They were just asked directly, is it okay to talk about killing
Jay?
every Jew out there? And they couldn't
Hi,
even
it's
say
Kelly
no.
over
It
at the
was
Martino
craziest
Show.
thing
How
I've
are
ever
ya?
seen. Then they all came out today or last night.
I'm good, and so
got it
I've got a
somewhat
line available, so
But
there
when
might
they
be a
were
little
on
bit of a
Capitol Hill
wait,
getting drilled,
but
man,
we'll get you on as soon as possible and
they
hopefully
were
get you
drawing
some
this very
legal
strange
advice
line
too,
in the
okay?
sand that made them all sound horrible. I mean, it really did.
Okay,
And it's like
hang
they
on
didn't
for me,
really
Jay.
even realize how bad they were until they probably went and watched it, and their board probably said, hey, the governor of Pennsylvania went directly after, I can't think of her name, but she's in charge of, what is it, Pennsylvania University?
UPenn. University of
Isn't that,
Pennsylvania.
it's Ivy, isn't it?
Yeah, UPenn.
Yeah. He said the board needs to get rid of this woman. The governor got involved in it. I mean, it was crazy.
Why?
The college deans, horrible time on Capitol Hill the other day.
Oh, Harvard's?
It wasn't just Harvard. It was.
Yeah, but Harvard
and
was ridiculous.
She wouldn't.
By the way, when she said we try to be tolerant of all, except Ben Shapiro couldn't speak there.
Yeah, I know. It's
because
crazy.
he's conservative.
Any conservative.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that weird? We'll let people call for the eradication of Jews. That's fine.
But
That's
the way
not
she
hate
wouldn't
speech.
answer that question was crazy, man. How much they go up? I'm sure it's all contractual. It's all there.
5% dues increase beginning January 2024. Okay, effective 1/1/24. So if there's an auto pay in 12/24, is that for the first?
Yo, you got about 30 seconds. Buddy.
Hey, Tom, just to update you, I have Peter Goldstein on for Patricia, but then you also have 11:15 with Harris Family Law for your live 120. So just don't get confused.
Tom never gets confused.
Never.
Hey, Tommy, did you see your
Absolutely
HOA dues
never.
for your hangers? 5%, so I've
For
got
the
to
hanger?
adjust your payment. Because it's on auto pay.
Yeah, I got to do that with my other HOA.
Free.
Okay, well, I'm doing this one
Yeah,
for
but you
you.
don't. Yeah, why don't I pay?
Ripped off.
Oh,
Out of your checking.
You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by DenverRegen.com. Listen, I got to tell you about Denver Regen. If you're looking for Ozempic or, what is it, Wegovy, the weight loss drug, they're doing a compound version of semaglutide. I believe that's how you say it. But anyway, what the news is, it's $250 a month as opposed to $1,200. And insurance doesn't pay unless you're clinically obese, which is really heavy. I want you to call them, 720-583-1648. Now, listen, I want you to study about compounding medicine. It comes from a compounding pharmacy, the same active ingredient. But if you're looking to lose weight, 720-583-1648. As with everything medical, get a doctor's opinion. They have a doctor there too. But if you have any questions, you can ask your own doctor. DenverRegen.com, 720-583-1648. It's an incredible deal. Now, let's talk about a divorce issue, and we have our expert on. And Jay also has an issue that we started yesterday. I have the notes on that about his mail while he was in jail. But right now, I'm going to bring up Peter Goldstein, an attorney at law with Harris Family Law. Thank you, Peter, for being here, one of our experts at Harris Family Law. We're going to talk to Patricia. Go ahead, Patricia. What's happening?
I filed for a separation, legal separation, for my husband,
and I remember this, Patricia. Let me sum this up. Let me sum this up because it does get complicated.
Okay.
You're married to a man who you say has dementia or Alzheimer's,
yes,
and he was doing erratic stuff. He left the house and locked you out of everything, out of bank accounts and everything. Is that right?
Right.
Now, Patricia, hold on. Who's on the house on the deed?
He's the only one on the deed.
He's the only one. How long have you been married to him?
15 years.
15 years. And was it his house before you married him?
Yes.
And did you have a prenup?
No.
And the house went up in 15 years in value, and people would argue that you're due some of that. And then also bank accounts. Did he lock you completely out of bank accounts?
Yes, except for one, which was a joint account.
Which ones did he lock you out of? His own?
Well, everything is in his name, so these accounts I was not aware
But
of.
the accounts he had in his name only, where did the money come from?
I have no idea.
How much money are we talking about?
Different balances in the accounts, maybe $1,000 or more.
How much would they all add up to, the accounts that aren't joint? What would they add up to?
Maybe checking accounts and savings accounts of ones I run into, I'd say maybe 5,000.
So if you added up the accounts that were not joint, they'd be $5,000. Does he get separate income from you every month?
Yes.
What does he get? Social Security?
He gets there's a Social Security. He's pulling on one of his retirement accounts.
Okay, what about you? Do you have any of your own income?
I have only Social Security.
Okay, and that's not part of his, that's yours, right?
It comes, yeah.
Okay, now, then he gets, was he diagnosed with Alzheimer's?
Yes.
Was he ruled by any court as incompetent?
No, we started the dementia and Alzheimer's classes, and he, from his regular doctor, he was so upset about it, he changed doctors, and he changed.
Does he refuse to acknowledge that he's going downhill?
Right.
Is he going downhill?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Of everything.
Well, you know him best. Now, do you think that he would have left you if it wasn't for this? In other words, did he leave you because you believe he has Alzheimer's? Or would he have left you? Were you on the rocks anyway with him?
No. Everything, he blames me for going along with the doctors.
I get it. So now, okay, I get it. He thinks the world's against him. He says, I'm leaving. I'm taking everything. The hell with you.
Right.
Did he also say he's going to sell the house?
Yes.
Now, do you have an interest in simply preserving what is yours legally and being done with him, or do you want somehow to prove he's incompetent and help him?
I want to prove that he's incompetent and help in every way possible, because I've had paperwork and everything drawn up. He refused to sign.
Well, what do you mean paperwork? Who drew up the paperwork? An attorney?
I had a notary to do me a power of attorney papers. Which
You wanted him to sign over to you a power of attorney.
Right.
Okay. I think you're going about this the wrong way. First and foremost, a separation is to me, a separation is a waste of time, and it doesn't do much.
Well, that's what he got an attorney. The attorney said to me, he's going to go for a full divorce. He does not want to mess with the separation.
Yeah, but if you see, I'm going to ask our expert, but I'm thinking if you want to prevent him from selling the house and acing you out of any part of equity or retirement or anything you might be entitled to, since you were married 15 years, you're entitled to something. And here's what I'm saying. During that 15 years, the house went up in value. His retirement plan went up in value. There are a lot of things that you're entitled to, and a divorce freezes everything he can do when you file, even if you don't go through with it. In my opinion, that's a safety factor. Then you can go ahead and try to have him ruled incompetent maybe and become a guardian. But I'm speaking out of school. I wanted to get all the facts for Peter. Peter, what do you think?
Okay, well, let me tell you this one part.
Go ahead.
The one part is that once he transferred from the doctor, his main doctor, over to the veterans, which he went full force into checking with the Veterans Affairs.
Well, what is the VA doctor saying? Is the VA doctor saying he has Alzheimer's?
The VA doctor sent back the information agreeing with his original doctor and he put it in some different terms in there, but agreeing with the same thing, including me on his assistance, because we started a
okay, listen,
marriage
I just need to know this, Patricia. The VA doctor agrees he has Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Okay. And did the veteran doctor suggest that you take care of him?
The veteran doctor sent a list of things that they wanted done, which I would become the toll transportation would be in my hands.
Did the doctor at the VA say you should be his guardian?
He just said, he addressed me as the wife is working with us.
All right, so after your husband went to the VA, has he changed his attitude since he chose the VA, he dropped the other doctor? Is he now going along with it, or does he still deny it?
He denied me access. I can't get any information from the VA, and he moved out.
Okay, he denies what? Does he deny the VA's diagnosis as well?
He denies me as a wife. I don't know what's going on in the medical field
I get
now.
it. So he doesn't want any part of you. You know, Patricia, at some point it might do you to just file divorce, get what's coming to you, and be done with them. It might help. I mean, I don't know what you do with somebody that won't let you help them. But anyway, Peter, a couple questions. What about a divorce? Will it help her? And then, or does she go and try to get guardianship? This is a loaded case. Go ahead.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, if there's already an action for legal separation, whether it's legal separation that's being pursued or a divorce that's being pursued, the court, there'll still be an injunction in place against disposing of assets. There's still a requirement to disclose assets and income. The court still has to divide assets and debts. The key difference is at the end of it, you either get an order of dissolution of marriage or an order of legal separation, but the legal separation can be converted either before or after the decree into a divorce. It's just that if you get a legal separation, a decree of legal separation, you have to wait 6 months.
Why do
before you
people
can
do a
ask for
separation, Peter? Why do people do that?
Because they may want to reconcile, but they may think there's a chance of reconciliation, and that they don't want to necessarily be divorced. But they still want to divide assets and debts and not be held responsible for the actions of the other party. So the process is the same. It's just that you can't remarry with a legal separation because you're not divorced yet, and it has to be converted to a decree.
All right. So what is she? What would you advise her to do if she was your client?
Well, so one, if there is already an action pending, she may want to record a lis pendens to prevent the property from being disposed of or transferred without her permission, unless she's already on title.
She's not.
Then it can't be if she's already on title. If she's not on title, but she may claim an interest in it, and the court has to divide it or decide who gets the property, she may want to record a lis pendens to prevent it from being sold or encumbered during the pendency of the action. That's number one. And then number two, she may not be in a position to get her self-appointed guardian because she's adverse, but there is a case called Sorensen in which courts actually hold or can be moved to hold what's called a Sorensen hearing to determine whether a party is mentally impaired, so mentally impaired that they're incapable of understanding the nature and significance of the proceedings, incapable of making critical decisions, lacking the intellectual capacity to communicate with counsel. And if a motion is filed that indicates that may be an issue, then the court has to hold a hearing and determine whether to appoint a guardian ad litem for the litigant, because otherwise, whatever findings and order the court enters may be subject to reversal on appeal if the party wasn't competent to enter into the decisions or participate in the proceedings.
Got it.
Okay, and if he's already transferred, he's changed the wills, the shut me out of the bank accounts, that I'm dealing with, then all these things that have been done without, we have not discussed any of this.
If he did it if he did it in anticipation of filing, you can sometimes claw that back, right, Peter?
That's correct. If it was done in anticipation of divorce, the court has jurisdiction to reverse it or divide the assets in a manner that takes that into account. And it has to be disclosed, any of those transfers and any existing accounts.
Yeah, you need to get an attorney, Patricia, and be done with it. You need someone who knows family law, specifically family law with someone who could be incompetent. And that's all we can tell you. That's what you need to do. I recommend harrisfamilylaw.com, 303-515-5000. We have more coming up.
Patricia, did you get that number? Do you want me to give it to you? Okay. Yeah, no problem. It's Harris, Harris, Family Law, and that's 303-515.
Let's talk to Rich Harris now, harrisfamilylaw.com. We were just talking to one of his attorneys, Peter. Now we're going to talk about another topic as our go-to experts, and that is co-parenting during the holidays. This is a very big deal because I'll bet you their phone rings off the hook with people not being able to get together for the holidays. One of those things is that they did not probably attack that issue during the divorce. Rich, how do you weigh in on this?
Thanks for calling, Patricia. Okay,
hey,
take
Tom,
care.
Thanks for calling. Yes, we had a webinar about this last night.
Really appreciate
we do
it.
these webinars every Wednesday night
All
from
right.
5 to 6,
All right, thanks.
all free, available for download for free on our website if anybody missed it. So many people are worried about where the kids are going to be for the holidays. Either they've got no court orders on the subject or their court orders are vague. What we tell people is plan in advance. Do your best to try and work things out. Not only do we get tons of calls this time of year, but the courts are inundated, and people's chance of getting in front of a judge at this point to deal with a holiday dispute is really, really slim. So we gave folks some tips on how to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, and also, if they missed it last night, they can go to the website. You have all of them indexed there at harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. That's harrisfamilylaw.com/webinars. Or you can always call them for any family law matter, 303-515-5000. That's 303-515-5000. Okay, and when it comes to real estate, O'Brien Legal Services is there to help you, olslaw.com. Brad O'Brien and his team specialize in this, and, you heard him on the show earlier, possibly talking about eviction and self-help and the rights you have during an eviction, whether you are the landlord or the tenant. And for anything real estate, closings, commercial or residential, partnerships for buying houses, financing deals, they can go over your paperwork and help you out with any real estate deal, including border disputes, easements, eminent domain. 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. Hey, you're looking for solar? Right now, solar, there's never been a better time, and I'll tell you why. Prices are low on systems, and you get great government tax credits. But here's the deal. You need the right companies. Because unfortunately, most solar companies are not solar companies. They're sales companies. They go door to door and sell systems, but they don't know anything about the actual solar system. They have somebody else install it, and then you can't even get service. See, Red Rocks Roof and Solar, they do it all. Sales, installations, and service.
Martino Troubleshooter
and listen to this, battery backup systems, auxiliary generators, they do it all. They incorporate it all. And they're here as a complete solution. Guaranteed activation dates, too. If your system isn't ready when they promise, they actually start paying you for the energy it should have been producing. We love these guys. RedRocksRS.com, 303-704-2449. 303-704-2449.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
With Fix-It's donation, should I be just putting them in touch with Albertus to do that donation, or do you want to funnel it through TSN?
We can do that.
You want to? I mean,
it's easy. Yeah. If he
and then Albertus can come pick up a check.
Right, because we don't get taxed on that. It's in and out. Right? We don't even report that. Okay. Yeah, we should.
You pay the fees on it if it's a credit card.
Or if you're in touch with Hannah, she can coordinate it.
Hannah's trying to coordinate it with me and Fix-It's AR girl or
okay, let's say then ask Hannah what's the easiest way. They can send us a check, they can ACH to us, we can send it to them, or they can call them directly.
Are they a 501(c)(3)?
Yeah.
They can take the benefit.
They're a 501(c)(3). So if you give him Albertus's number, he'll take it over the phone.
And then they'll get to tax credit.
Okay. Best way then is to put them in touch with Albertus is what you guys
his website has a donate there, but I like they can call him and he'll work it out. Oh, natural testosterone boosters don't work. Car dealers seem to be more aggressive these days, offering deals. I don't know if they're back to where they were, but they're certainly not adding a lot of shit on top of their invoice.
Yeah, they had such bad inventory problems for a long time.
Well, there was one car I was looking at. It was marked up 150,000.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Jay, I talked to yesterday, and he was complaining about he was in jail for 2 months for a DUI, and he said they would not let his mail go out during that 2 months. Do I have, let me bring him up here. Wait, yeah, are you there, Jay? Do I have that accurately? Jay? Okay. I'm sorry, Jay. I have the wrong one. Hold on. Jay, are you there? Sorry, man. Jay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the wrong button.
You're running a good business. I'm proud of you.
So, Jay, is that what it is? So they didn't let your mail go out. How did you actually stamp an envelope and put it?
Can I tell you the whole story?
No. You can tell me part of it about the mail. Just tell me about the mail. You were sentenced and trying to put out mail, right?
No. I had a DUI, and they would not the guards would not allow my mail to go out.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say you had a DUI and the guards wouldn't let your mail go out?
Yeah.
Okay, so what part don't I have here?
That's false mailing. I mean, that's a federal offense to not let a person in jail's mail go out. That's a federal offense.
Okay, so Jay, let me ask you a question, though. When you say they held your mail, did you put a stamped envelope with them and say this is mail, and they wouldn't, and they didn't mail it?
Absolutely. And they let me out early back that they never mailed. And it is stamped by the Colorado federal, whatever you want to call it.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's stamped? When you put your mail in an envelope, is that right?
Correct.
And you sealed the envelope and you gave it to them with postage on it.
Correct.
And what do you mean they stamped it?
And then it never went out. So therefore I learned this. So therefore I started mailing the letters back to myself. So I started mailing letters back to myself because my relatives and my friends weren't getting my mail. My attorney
No, I get it. And you wanted to test it.
Getting my
so
mail.
no one was getting your mail. No one ever got any mail that you sent them.
Correct. So therefore, that's why I tried to send mail back to myself.
No, I get it. Let me ask you this, Jay. Did they admit?
That's a federal offense.
Okay, I don't know if it is or not. That's why I'm trying to find out. Jay, do they admit that they did not mail your stuff?
No. They gave me 10 envelopes, and they said they let me out early, and I said, who posted my bond? They said, you're a free man, and they hand me a stack of 10 envelopes, which I have all of them.
Okay, and those 10 envelopes were all of the mail. It was all of the mail you had sent out.
Yep, but stamped by the state of Colorado.
Huh.
So they're all certified, stamped by the state of Colorado.
But where is it stamped? Is it stamped over the postage stamp?
Yeah, just like all our mail is. Yeah.
Like canceled mail. But they never sent it out.
They never sent it out. That was, yes, correct.
And who told you this was a federal offense?
You tell me if it is or isn't.
I don't know. I'm going to find out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
What if they say, whoops, we lost them? I mean,
no, they didn't. They handed them back to him.
That's what I'm saying. They were sitting somewhere. We just found them. Here you go. I mean,
no.
What do you
I mailed it back to myself. I mailed letters back to myself. I started mailing letters back to myself. When you patent anything, I've been an industrial designer. So
Jay, I don't care about any of this. Just hold on, okay? I mean, I don't want to go into your life story. What he's saying makes complete sense. He sealed envelopes with a stamp. I thought they looked at all mail, first of all. I have no idea what they do. I don't know what they do with mail in jail. I don't know what they're obligated to do. I don't know when does it become U.S. mail. Does it become U.S. mail when you put a stamp on it and seal it? Does it become U.S. mail once it gets into a mailbox? I don't know what is considered.
What rights do you have when you're in jail?
I don't know. These are things we should ask Joe Lazzara. He's a criminal defense attorney. Let's ask him. Joe, let's ask. So let's get him on and see. Jay, we'll try to get some legal advice on this. 303-713-TALK, 8255. Now, Amanda, welcome to the show. What's going on with you,
Hello.
Amanda?
So I had called in last week about a forbearance agreement with my mortgage company.
With Freedom Mortgage.
Yes, you remember.
Yeah, you had a forbearance due to COVID. They said it was agreed to, and you stopped making the payment. Then they called and said, "No, we're sorry, we never did agree to it."
They didn't say that they didn't agree to it. What they're saying is that they're trying to take my 3.5% interest rate up to a 7.5%.
They're trying to make a refi.
But wait a
Right,
minute.
correct.
Wait a minute. You during the forbearance,
Mm-hmm.
did you skip any payments?
During the forbearance?
Yeah.
You don't make payments during the forbearance.
That's what I want to know. See, I want to know. I'm confusing this, I think, with another one. Remember the other one we had? There was a forbearance, and she got a confirmation number. Then they called her back and said, that person who did that made a mistake. That's not this one, right?
Correct. No, different one.
All right, then I need to know the details because these notes here are when Ryan was taking the show. So Freedom Mortgage gave you a forbearance. How many months off did you get?
12.
Okay, so you got a 1-year forbearance.
Correct.
I remember this.
Okay, so then at the end of the 1 year, were you listening, Mark?
No. I took this call.
Oh, okay.
This is going back.
During the
wasn't-
1 year,
Yeah.
it was November 29th, the call. So when they did the 1 year forbearance, when that came after...
Then they told her not to make payments after that.
Did
then
they tell
she
you not
missed
to make payments after that?
Yes, but now they're saying because she didn't make those payments, she's got to refi. They'll go ahead and refi her, but they're not going to. They're making a refi at this point.
So
They were trying to make a refi before they had told me to stop making the payment.
Okay. I'm trying to just, Amanda, please entertain me because I'm really trying to get something here on purpose. There's a reason for my questions.
Yes.
After the forbearance, did you resume your normal payments?
Yes.
For how many months?
Over a year.
Okay, so after forbearance, you started paying for a year. Then they said to you, hey, by the way, you need to refinance. We're calling your loan due. What did they say?
I got a letter saying that my house is going to be in foreclosure for delinquent payment of the unpaid amount within a year.
Okay, and
That
so
year that we
the
started
unpaid
forbearance.
amount they're talking about is the forbearance year.
Correct.
So they gave you a forbearance. At the end of the forbearance, you resume payments, and a year after resuming payments, they threaten you with foreclosure.
Correct.
Were the terms of the forbearance that it would be added to the end of the loan or that you would have a lump sum due?
It would be rolled back into the end of the loan.
And you have that in writing?
Yes. I sent that over last week.
If you have that in writing, that the amount you didn't pay for a year was added to the end of the loan, then how are they doing a foreclosure? On what basis?
Tom, could this be a scam?
Hold on. That's what I'm trying to discern here. I'm trying. So on what basis are they saying it could be? On what basis are they saying they're foreclosing?
On the delinquent amount.
Do they have
And I had called
do
them
they
and I
have
said-
the delinquent amount accurate? Did you add it all up?
I did not add it up, but
So I need to know this. What have they done so far?
so we are in loss mitigation right now.
What does that mean?
So we're trying to figure out, they're basically trying to refinance my house. And I have been working with the state, the HAF program.
And what's the rate you have now?
3.85%.
And they want to refi you to what?
7.5.
You know, Mark,
So
this
take my
sounds.
mortgage from
I mean,
23 to 34.
but you
we
actually
had Brent Ivinson on about this.
Yeah, but how do you give them a forbearance for a year, saying it's going to be added to the end of the loan, and then say you got to refi?
Because I think she missed some payments after the forbearance time, or they're at least telling her that. Is that correct?
Yes, they told me to pause the payments while
So she had 12.
See,
listen,
Amanda,
let's say she had 12 months. Everybody
I get it,
agrees
Mark,
to.
you pause it right. I get it. You told me you resumed payments after the forbearance. I specifically asked that. You said you resumed payments for 1 year. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're telling me you paused payments after the forbearance.
After that year, because they had said that while we undergo a loss mitigation.
What loss mitigation? You were under forbearance.
Forbearance for 12 months. Then she started making payments for 12 months. Then she stopped making payments because, according to her, they told her that at that point. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you stopped making payments after the 1 year program. Excuse me. You stopped making payments after you had been making them for 12 months.
Correct.
Upon their request, according to her.
Do you have their written request that you stop making payments?
No, I don't have the.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you something. Amanda, if you stop making payments after a year for no reason, and you can't prove they told you that, you're going to be screwed. That's why they're trying to get you refied. Hold on. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah, and basically Brent said they tricked her. I mean, really, that's all they did.
They tricked her.
And there's nothing
And
she's
she
going to
can't
do
prove
about it.
They can't prove, and she can't. And you know what our real estate attorney would say.
Well, Brad O'Brien, we
if
had
she
him
missed
on.
her payments, they can call it due.
Hey,
Yeah,
can you?
He'd have to be listening. Plus,
That's
he's got
right.
a spot.
He's got spots. I forget. That's okay. I'll get him out.
Yep. You get him, Kelly.
I know.
It's like a little chihuahua. So cute.
We have a Simply Live.
Stop it.
That's
We
Kelly.
already did.
That means we'll probably have another. When you see it up, just
Feisty
let me
little
know.
4-pound chihuahua.
Why?
He
Get
just
your ankles.
texted me. I haven't even read it yet.
Why don't you just do the spot then?
That's fine. I still got to read it, though. He's got a bunch of something or other.
What's the name of this lender, for God's sakes? Freedom?
Freedom.
This is terrible.
It's terrible. It is terrible, man. Ask her.
Step letter. I never knew my.
Kelly, ask her if she ever talked to Brent.
You did. On Wednesday.
EuroPlumbingColorado.net. You want the best prices ever on water heaters? You're going to get it with Euro Plumbing. And when I say the best prices, man, I absolutely mean it. Do you know what?
We called Brad O'Brien.
A new water heater
So
starting
she
at
was
$12.99.
dissatisfied
A
with their
50 gallon is
advice because they
$13.99. That's
basically
with the
said
old
that
one
she would
taken
have
out
to
and hauled away. Try to find that anywhere else. You will not. They rock. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. And give them a call. Put them to the test. They say the lowest prices for water heaters, garbage disposals, sump pumps. 303-668-6844. 303-668-6844.
What do you expect?
Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney that we're trying to have on the show as our
rushed me.
expert.
How could I
and we
possibly have
always
rushed you when
defer
we
to
had
him
two
because he knows
experts
what
on
he's
for
doing.
you?
He gives us expert advice. He can give you expert advice
Yes.
too. And that's a free initial consultation always on any crime, any
It's all
charge,
coming back to
any
me now.
citation. He
Celine
can do
Dion
it.
style.
And DUIs, especially going into this time of the year. If you need legal representation, Joe Lazara, as I said, free initial consultations and then flat rate pricing. That's Lazara Law, Lazzara, Lazara Law. Find him at referralist.com or call him 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200. Are you trying to get Lazara on for that one guy with mail?
I am, but he's not
I can't
answering.
hear you. You're not coming through.
Hit offline.
He needs to hit offline.
Hit offline.
Why? I never had to do that before. Okay.
Yes, you have.
What?
So he's not answering his phone and he's not answering my texts, and he's usually on Thursdays. This is like the worst day to get him because he usually has court all day.
Why did you hit that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong button. Sorry. I was trying to put it back to program. I
note that the microphone
Why does it
never
still sound like
comes
there's
off
two
for
playing?
Tommy.
What does that mean?
You know, unscrews, like for Mike.
Oh, yeah, I know.
There really
Never.
are only,
About it
there's
this
only
morning
one thing
before
playing
the
right
show.
now.
I tightened it.
Yep, he got it all fixed.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
so
they're talking.
there it is.
Somebody's
It's
talking
screwed
over
in
the
completely.
commercial.
The only way you can
Jelly
unscrew.
spot. Jelly comes over on
No,
a
that's
no
what I turn it around and around.
You must sit here like you twirling your hair.
Naturally low spots all the damn
And it
time.
falls.
And then this stuff
I go,
happens.
"Damn,
Oh my
damn it.
God.
What's wrong with this
He
mic?
does hold it a lot.
But I don't see how, because the cord would prevent it from coming off. The cord itself doesn't go around.
Leave
So-
it to Michael Brown and Mark Mager.
Hey, what's
They
this
figure
guy
it
with
out.
the stamp? First of all, who gives a shit? What's he want? His money back for the 30 fucking cents? What does he want?
I don't know. That's a good point.
What the hell's he want? He got his mail back.
Hey, stop being technical.
Technical? He got out of jail early. He should be happy as hell.
Google it, Mark.
Google what?
If somebody doesn't mail a letter.
In prison, what happens?
No, I mean,
let's ask the expert.
If you give a stamped envelope,
don't you lose your rights? I mean, seriously, when you're in prison or jail, aren't most of your rights gone?
yeah, sure, they don't deserve to be. They're not people anymore.
I'm asking a legal question. Don't you lose your rights or no? I don't know.
Yeah, they can go in and kick you in the balls too.
Yeah, the challenge is proving that they did something wrong. 'Cause
It's whoops, I'm
they control
sorry.
all the evidence. They control the story.
Hey, Jesus. Hard to listen to the show with Kelly's mic always on. Dragon says, more Kelly. You
Have the
got
right
it.
to send and receive mail while incarcerated as protected First Amendment. Under this amendment, they cannot withhold this privilege. How about that?
So they can send mail.
Absolutely. They have a First Amendment right to do it, and withholding it is a crime.
Yeah, I mean, what if they want to have?
They can. From prison. They can
I
vote
don't
from
know
prison.
about that.
No, they can, unless they're a convicted felon.
Back
You're
in
not talking about
45.
that. You're talking about somebody in jail.
Oh, pardon me.
But Mark, think about it. If they want to correspond with their attorney, the state has no right to interrupt that process.
Yes. Huh?
Per the usual.
God damn it.
You know, okay. I'm trying to think of how many times I
Go
got
clean it.
okey-doked by the Franktown post office.
Tom,
So maybe I will bring
clean it.
some suit.
I know the answer.
Let's put Doc on it. Doc,
What?
go buy this guy 5 stamps.
I got the answer. No, I got a good.
Okay.
I got a good website here. This is talking about censorship when they can open it.
When can they open it?
Anytime, except for an attorney. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You know, I have, by the way, a lot of information on mail when in jail. Jay, I looked it up. We can't get our attorney, but I really have looked up several websites. And the bottom line says, if you're an inmate, you absolutely have a right to send and receive mail. It's a First Amendment right.
Correct.
Now, hold on.
Absolutely.
Just wait. Okay, Jay, just wait for me, and then you can say what you want. I have to get this out. They are allowed to open your mail, whether going or coming, to see that it is not, that it doesn't need to be censored. What would need to be censored? Any mention of violence, crime, plans, explosives, self-harm, harm to them, harm to you, all of that. But absent of that, they must mail it even if they censor it. Now, here's the other thing. If it's your attorney, they cannot open it. So there are the rules. It is a crime not to do it. Okay, having said that now, Jay, Mark asked a very good question during the break, and I didn't ask this. What do you want?
Well, can you imagine being incarcerated? and not
Jay,
being
I'm
able to
asking a question again. What do you want?
I want reimbursed for my incarceration and not be able to see the outside world. That's
Jay,
does that have
has
to do
nothing
with
to do with the
mail?
mail, Jay. Listen, I want to make this clear. Okay, hold on. If you don't think you were incarcerated properly for a DUI or you were not convicted or whatever it is, that it has nothing to do with the mail. The mail is a completely separate issue. So are you calling about the mail or are you calling about the arrest?
The mail.
Okay. What do you want done?
You cannot incarcerate somebody and not let them get to the outside world.
Therefore, I'm going to finish the sentence. I'm going to give you the sentence. I was in jail and my mail was not mailed. Therefore, I want fill in the blank, Jay.
Do it for me. I don't know how to say it.
Jay, what do you want? Do you think that you are due some kind of monetary damages?
Well, he is. He's got how much in stamps?
That's right. They owe you for the stamps. How much did you spend in stamps?
Yeah, how much are stamps now?
Whatever those are, but it's bigger than that because on top of it, then they put my name on the internet. And so he was incarcerated. You know how much loss of money I made?
What is he talking about?
Jay, what do you mean they put your name on the internet?
They put my name on the internet.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I told the judge, so they put my name on the internet, and they said, well, that's according to the internet.
You mean like on Colorado courts?
Jay, let me ask you something. Were you convicted of a DUI?
Yes.
Okay. You did your time, is that right?
Correct.
They had a right to publish that.
They can put your mugshot up.
But count if they're able to put it on for the initial DUI, now they have to counteract that. And I told the judge.
Wait. Why do they have to, Jay? Why do they have to counteract it?
Well, they publish it for the bad. So they need to publish it for the good.
What part is the good of getting drunk and driving? What part is the good? I didn't get the good part yet.
No.
Jay, you're making no sense. First of all, you called about your mail. Now you're calling about your name being on the internet. Listen, a lot of people are charged with crimes, and you're right. It does go on the internet. So does their mugshot. Even if those charges are dropped, even if they're expunged, there is still a record on the internet. There's no way to wash the internet, okay? So, Jay, the answer to your problem is simple.
Why do they publish it? Why do they publish it on there then?
Because they do. Okay, Jay? I don't know why. If you're upset, I'm sorry. You know what? A lot of innocent people have their name on the internet with a mugshot. I can tell you that for goddamn sure.
You get arrested and prosecuted, it's public information.
Unless it's sealed for some reason, but DUIs almost never are.
Not sealed.
Yeah.
No, and even if you're found not guilty, or if the charges are dropped, it is still listed under almost every case that you are arrested for it. When we pull background checks, we'll see all the time. Domestic, whatever, but a lot of them, the charges were dropped.
I'm going to tell you something. Here, I'm going to tell you what's worse.
There's a kid suing Yale for $7 million because they accused him of rape. He was found innocent. They expelled him anyway.
I'm going to give you real life
examples. They ruined his
examples.
reputation.
I want to give you real life examples after this break. No, they don't hear me.
You got to go offline.
Oh, there I go. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, the people we depend on for retirement plans. They're sponsors of this show. And you want to know something? I've sent a lot of people to them because I'm a customer, a client. Good people, and they serve the entire state. What they do is work with you by Zoom, by email, by phone, and they look at what you have. Elements, 401ks, IRAs, all of that kind of stuff, right? Then they see where you're weak, where you're strong, what you need, and help you structure a retirement plan. And that does include, by the way, estate planning, for which they might call our friends Keelan Park. And it does include maybe a reverse loan. They call our friends at Empower. It might include other things. They are the trusted experts to quarterback the plan. rpcenter.com. Meet with them as many times with no obligation as it takes for you to feel comfortable. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. rpcenter.com. Our exclusive reverse loan lender, if you're looking for one as part of your plan to get rid of that house payment, maybe get an extra line of credit or some money to do improvements or for home health care, whatever it is, you can trust Empower Reverse Mortgage to give you the truth about reverse loans. You know, they'll go through it. Our team, Mark and his team, will go through it and make sure you're a good candidate before even suggesting that you apply for one. 720-500-7719. Get the truth about reverse loans. 720-500-7719. Empower, that's EMPOWER, empowerreverse.com.
I mean,
okay.
There's nothing I can do about
So
that.
here's what
I'm
happens.
sorry.
Someone can accuse you of something, right? So let's say a woman accuses a man of domestic violence, and she says, he punched my face over and over, okay? Now, true. They'll arrest the man, abundance of caution, right? They do an investigation. They find out none of it is fucking true. The woman's crazy, and she's done this several times before to other men even. Okay. They not only drop the charges, the fucking governor expunges it off the record forever. That original article doesn't say, by the way, it was expunged, blah, blah. Yep. They get the original article. The original article says, not she said. In the police report, it says, police say he punched her in the face over and over. It doesn't say the victim, the alleged victim claims. It says police say, because they're reading from a police report. Police didn't say that. Police got that statement from somebody and put it in their report. When they put it in their report, the newspapers don't say it was from the alleged victim. They say police say he punched her in the face. That's what it said. Police never said that. Police don't know. Police weren't there. And that fucking guy is scarred for life because if someone hates him, they bring up the article. And the article doesn't say it may have happened. It says police say it happened. That's what happened.
And they never go back and change the article, and it never gets pulled down.
No,
yeah.
There are additional articles about it being dropped and all that. But if someone wants to just show you're a scumbag, they'll just bring up that first article. Police say. That is the worst thing a fucking newspaper reporter can say because police are not saying it. They could say the police report states that he did this according to. That's the way you write proper journalism. But they don't do it that way. They don't do it that way.
They're looking for headlines and they're looking for clicks. It's less about journalism than it is about
So, I
ad
mean, this
revenue.
police says he ran a red light and killed 3 people? No, they didn't. They can't fucking say that unless they were there. The report says that based on witnesses. And maybe he did. The point is, once they're found not guilty, that original article doesn't have to be corrected. It's just there.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with this kid suing Yale.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell us about that.
Oh no, he was accused of sexual misconduct. He was found innocent. Yale expelled him.
Oh yeah.
They diminished his reputation, and he's screwed. And now he's suing them for defamation of character and damages. And it's going to be a huge thing because colleges shouldn't be allowed to do that if they're found innocent.
You know what? There should be some kind of obligation to correct shit like that.
There should.
But the police reports, police say.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
right.
police said he did it.
Spreadsheet I emailed you.
Yeah, I thought I had it open.
The other tab down there.
Oh, and I got to actually open it, not stare
Well,
at
don't do that.
All right, 10 seconds, guys.
What?
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, I did find out what's going on here. Amanda, listen, you're not going to like the answer.
Hi.
Unless, I'm going to just, I want to recap this. You went on a year forbearance. Fine. They weren't going to foreclose because of that. Then you started making payments for another year. They weren't going to foreclose because of that. But then you claim after that year of you making payments, they called you and somehow said to you, by the way, don't make any more payments for a while. Now, you stopped making payments, and then they came back and said, aha, now we're foreclosing because you're not making payments. To which you said, well, the reason I stopped making payments again is because you said I could. Unless you can prove that.
They were going to foreclose during the forbearance amount, the unpaid forbearance amount. I paid the payment. I resumed payment like they said that we would. We would just resume payment on the last day of our forbearance. I made payments up until a year until we found out that they were going to foreclose on our house based on.
Okay, you could have fought the foreclosure. You could have fought the foreclosure due to the forbearance. But because you stopped making payments, they can foreclose now. And unless you can prove they told you not to make the payments, you're screwed. I'm sorry, Amanda. You're absolutely screwed. I don't know if you have proof that they told you to stop making payments. I'm sorry. They tricked you. They tricked you. That is the most. She said, Mark, they're not foreclosing because of those missed payments. They're closing for the forbearance. They were foreclosing. That's what she said. And then they told her, stop making payments. We're trying to get you refied. This is.
Suze, do you ever eat the envy apples? They are so sweet. Yes, Dak, if you can hear me. I love all different kinds of apples.
So after the forbearance, she resumed payments for 1 year. Then they started a foreclosure due to the forbearance. She might be able to get an attorney to help her due to the forbearance.
What are you bitching at?
I think she has a good case if they were foreclosing originally because of that forbearance agreement. That's just stupid. They give her a forbearance, then come back after her saying we're going to foreclose on you. After a year of making payments, she claims they started a foreclosure due to the forbearance. And then that's when she stopped making payments.
Lead? How do you get lead in applesauce?
Well, if there's lead in the apples.
Yeah, I guess it's crazy, though. Lead?
For the packaging, maybe? I mean, because those pouches are...
They're almost
metallic,
like foil.
Yeah.
Do you have Amanda's information, by the way?
Yes.
We need to get someone on this. I don't know what we do. This is not sitting right with me. This woman got screwed.
She had 3 different experts talk to her who all said, now 4 and 5, who all said the same thing.
Where's my buddy, the chiropractor? He hasn't been around for a while.
Who's that?
Oh,
Marty?
Yeah.
He's timing it off.
Before you go that far, she called on Wednesday, talked to Mark. Mark got Brent Ivinson on, who told her the same thing. Then she wanted to call back on because Mark said reschedule her for Friday or Thursday when Ryan was here because Fuller was going to be on and we wanted to get Brad O'Brien and his point of view. So we brought her back on Thursday.
What did Brad say?
Brad said that she did not have any proof.
You're screwed.
And
did you have proof of even the forbearance?
she had proof of the forbearance, but no proof that they told her to stop the payments. It just basically she had proof that she stopped the payments.
Okay.
So he told her that
she said her foreclosure notice said they were foreclosing due to the forbearance, not because she stopped making.
How do you get that? This is such bullshit.
Did she send her foreclosure notice?
so I'll tell you what she said. So she sent.
Yeah, she should have fought it when the foreclosure and continued to pay.
So she sent this.
But
She sent an outbound message of a call. She sent the loan number.
We understand, very difficult time. At this time, your account is due 0 until July. The terms of the mortgage will not change or be. I mean, that's a forbearance agreement. But then where does it say they're foreclosing on her because of this forbearance?
She never sent that. She basically did not have those documents. She has the actual forbearance documents.
We will not okay, the forbearance is clear. They will not foreclose.
Correct. Correct. But when she stopped making payments, she doesn't have any proof that they told her to do that.
Right.
And that's why Brad O'Brien said, you're probably going to have to refi. That's what John Fuller said. That's what you said.
Ask her if she has their original foreclosure agreement saying they were foreclosing not because of those few payments, but because of that year. That's what they. I think she's confused as shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's had 5 different experts.
Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Some good news just north of town. I-25 north and southbound. We have 2 separate accidents around Erie Parkway. Both have been all cleared up. We are seeing some congested traffic both north and southbound I-25 around the Erie area. In town proper, I-70 east and westbound flowing pretty soon from DIA. Leaving DIA, Canyon Boulevard southbound, some busy traffic between Tower Road and 56. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Fox 31 at Pinpoint Weather. Enjoy the warm weather while it lasts. High 64 today. Overnight low 29. Things cooling way down tomorrow. We've got a 60% chance of snow with a high of 39. Current temperature in Denver 62 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 6:30 KHOW.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save over $40 on a Warner 6-foot step ladder. Was $115, now just $69.98. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 12/7 through 12/13 on item number 98-148 while supplies last.
Anyone notice that Mark cannot type with all his fingers?
Yeah, I hunt and peck, so who gives a crap?
It's just funny. They're making fun of Tom, too.
Well, that's easy.
They're like,
You got to stretch really hard
Correct.
to talk about he types with not all of his fingers.
at least he doesn't type like a crazed monkey like Tom does.
Who said that?
Who's? Oh, I'm not
fact,
telling you.
I'll
Dad,
tell you
I'm
what
sorry.
that Amanda
Get in
chick
trouble.
is doing right now.
Case.
She knows
Are you
that
gonna
she
put
messed
Dak in
up.
timeout? I don't even
She's
know
been
if it's
told
Dak.
that she messed up
DAC
numerous
file.
times. And now she's trying to
The
figure
YouTube
out
DAC
a workaround.
file. Would you say that's Dak?
Good afternoon. Thanks for
I
calling
don't
the
know.
Tom
I mean,
Martino
they
Show.
could stand for anything. These people with their names, I don't get it. I mean,
Their handles, as we call it.
You guys are 10 seconds here, guys.
For what, sir? For the referral list? That's a website.
Amanda.
Here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show, waterpros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices. Water filtration, water purification, water softening, whatever you want, you're going to pay thousands and thousands and thousands less with them than you would with a plumber. They are plumbers, of course. And that's 303-862-5554. Now, what is on your mind today? We have with us Jim Park from Keelan Park, lawkp.com. We're going to talk to you about some text questions. If you have any questions on your estate, please give us a call. One was about a handwritten will. He says, look, you leave yourself open for interpretation, for problems, for validation, for interpretation's a big deal when you write stuff down. You may think it's clear to you, but it doesn't turn out to be clear. Somebody wants to know about recent changes to a will. What do you do when somebody's getting old? I don't know if it's Alzheimer's, but they said they're getting old and senile, and they made changes to their will. And guess who? It always happens, a caretaker. They, for somehow, and this, I can't tell you, how many questions have we had on this, guys? Come on, you were, Mark, a caretaker is left something from the old person they're caring for, and he or she changes their will in the last 6 months or something.
It happens.
Well, I know, but does it really happen? I mean, what's undue influence? What's capacity? What do you do with something like that? Jim?
Yeah, and those situations are unfortunately not uncommon, and there's a few things that you need to look at. Whose idea was it to make the change? Was the parent actually able to make that decision on their own, or were they influenced? And those are the exact situations that give rise to will contests, where people end up in court fighting for a long time. Best thing to do is stay close to your parents, stay close to know what's going on in their home, and find ways to make sure that their caretakers are changed periodically if you can, and not let those relationships evolve into something powerful.
What you have to do if someone is approaching incapacity mentally is become their guardian, where you have to sign for them. I mean, really. Or if somebody is questionable, at least check their stuff regularly. That's for sure. And by the way, we'll have more from Jim. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike? Our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, Tom, made a purchase on Apple.com last night, and to have it delivered to my home. And they charged me the sales tax at the distribution center, not at my address. And I looked it up, and Colorado law is that the sales tax is to be to the shipping address.
That's right.
I contacted Apple, and they're not willing to do anything about it. I mean, if this happens to thousands of people, that's a lot of money.
Wait a minute. It happens to thousands of people. It's a lot of money, meaning that it could go either way. If they charge sales tax at their distribution center and then they end up delivering it somewhere else, they could end up owing more than they collected, not necessarily less. They do a tax return, and the tax return is based on deliveries. And that tax return, I don't know how they do. I don't know if they lie on the tax return and say this was the delivery address. I don't know. I never looked. I just got a phone the other day, and I never looked. Although when I went online to buy it, it did ask my address, and the sales tax it did on that invoice was to my house. Did you buy these online?
Online, yeah, Apple.com.
Okay, you have your invoice from that you filled out online. Okay, go to that one, not the one that you got in the box, but the one that you filled.
No. I haven't had it delivered yet. I ordered it last night. I mean, they charged me 8% sales tax, and I'm an unincorporated Douglas County, and my sales tax is 5%. So, I mean, I know I was overcharged. I called them, and they said to me on the phone that they do not charge the shipping. They don't tax the shipping address. They tax the distribution address.
Well, then that would have happened to me, and it didn't.
Well, I mean, I can show it to you. I can send it to you.
I'm not doubting you. I said it didn't happen to me at Apple.com. It did not happen. I just bought a brand new computer and an iPhone. And this computer was pretty expensive, and I'll look at the invoice again, but I'm pretty sure it was my tax rate. I don't know.
Yeah, double check it.
You didn't pick it up, right?
Correct. It's being delivered to my house, and I have not received it yet. Correct.
Maybe they modify it.
You know, I don't think that wouldn't be right. It would be wrong on all counts, but you should call the state revenue department. That's who you should be calling.
Okay.
Because now, if you run your zip code, I don't care about your the zip code. Does it come out that you only owe 5%?
Correct. Yes.
Can I have stuff shipped to you?
even purchasing a truck, I purchased my truck at AutoNation Ford on the other side of County Line in Littleton, and my sales tax is 5%. So I mean, it's kind of nice.
Hold on. Somebody is texting me. Guess who? About Apple. Hold on. Who do you think it is?
Steve Jobs.
Yep.
And
from the grave.
One other thing, Tom, they absolutely are scrubbing the internet, just so you know.
Hey.
There is massive amounts of data being deleted.
Who's scrubbing the internet?
I don't know, but I can assure you that there is a lot of information being removed from the internet. The internet is not the same, and it is.
Well, hold on. Stuff is being removed from like censorship from social media and all that, but there's no one concerted effort that scrubs the internet at all.
Oh, absolutely one concerted effort. Absolutely.
And who is that doing that?
I don't know that I could. If you go to a gentleman by his first name is Jim, but it's Bright Insight on YouTube. He has a 20-30 minute story about explaining it, but he
well, I don't know. I mean, a company can make $1 billion a year. If a company could scrub the internet, they would make billions. I don't think you can scrub the internet by the nature of the internet. The internet is not one computer. It's not one network. It's not one source. It's not one fiber. I mean, it is too widespread. The only one that can come close to doing it would be Google. And when they do it, it would be simply making your search impossible to find. People could still find it, but Google could come close to burying stuff, but not deleting it. I don't know. What do you think?
Just look it up. Just look it up. Bright Insight on YouTube. He has a story on it. It's very interesting, and he shows how it is being deleted and how you can see the number of what do they call it?
What's the name of the guy on YouTube?
His first name is Jim, but it's Jim, but it's Bright Insight. All
right, I'll look for it.
Is his YouTube handle? But,
I'll look for
I'm serious. Look into it. It's pretty interesting.
All right, I'll look for it. 303-713-TALK, 713-825. Kelly, do you have that? I just texted you a number. Call that guy.
Oh, okay.
He's our friend iTed. He says he has we call him iTed as a joke. His name is Ted. He used to work for Apple. He says he has an explanation for why that sales tax is being done that way. I can think of no explanation whatsoever, but we'll figure it out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Why do you think, Mark?
Well, even on the website, the state tax website, it says it's the person's address.
Right. Well,
because his county or his city is not going to get it.
Mark, if you go to apple.com, it's right there. They charge you sales tax right there. I mean, so I put in my address. If I put in yours, it would charge another sales tax. So I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't, because if he bought it online, as soon as you fill it out, it has taxes on it. iTed is online. Let me have him. I don't need to know what. Yeah. Ted, tell me what you think's going on. Go ahead, Ted.
Well, Tom, as you know, I've worked for Apple for many years.
Yeah.
And I think what probably happened is he ordered this as a same day or like next day delivery. And what Apple does is they contract out with Postmates, and a Postmates person will go to the local store and
pick it up.
Time it was Cherry Creek, and pick it up there. So the tax is charged based on the pickup point.
You know what? If it wasn't sent by Apple or their carrier to your address, I can see that, because their obligation ended at the distribution center, and then there was an independent contractor who picked it up there. Well,
Exactly.
That could be advantageous for someone who doesn't want to pay a lot of sales tax. If you could find a distribution center with a low, what about Amazon lockers? Do you pay based on that locker? Man, you could make a lot of money having a locker in a no sales tax zone or a low sales tax zone.
Yeah, that's potentially true, although I think it has more to do with if you're literally picking it up at a store rather you're contracting a company like Postmates. It just is facilitated through Apple's website.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, and that's a good explanation, Ted. I want to know another thing. Why are they making iPhones out of glass, front and back? I mean, is that the most stupid thing you've ever heard in your life? I mean,
I'm not a fan of it.
My iPhone is glass, top to bottom.
Yeah.
The case is glass, the screen is glass.
Aluminum or titanium, exactly. And you have to put it in a case anyway. But I think the reason for the glass back has to do with the inductive charging. Because you got to have a way to get.
Got it. You got to have a see-through for the electricity for the electrons, right? Yeah. Okay, man. I appreciate your information always. 303-713-8255. More coming up.
It's okay.
You got to remind me while I'm on the air. Just say, Tom, I got some follow-ups. But I will. I'll remember. All right.
He's like the nicest guy ever.
My appetite cut to shit for some reason.
Him
That's that
and
Wegovy
Frank
you're
Graham.
taking.
What's that?
Your appetite's cut?
To nothing.
Is that diet
Are you
drug?
doing that semaglutide or something?
No. Homevestors, man, do I love talking about them. Why? Because you can get your house sold if you don't want to have the tire kickers, the mortgage approvals, the inspections, deferred maintenance. You just want to sell and get out of town. You can. Homevestors. You know, obviously, if you list it and go with a good real estate person, you probably can sell for more, maybe. But guess what? Some people just want to sell. Homevestors, give them a call and find out what they'll pay. These are the people we trust. They own like nearly 4,000 properties in Denver. 800-44-BUYER. 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 Now, Made in the Shade window coverings. What do? They come to your house. They measure everything and estimate for free. That alone is so important because not all window openings are perfectly square or rectangle. By the way, when they do this, they also have a designer to help you pick the right stuff for each room. Deputy Doc used them. He loves them. They even give you temporary shades while you're waiting for yours, whether it's shades, blinds, curtains, whatever you want. Soft goods, hard goods, shutters, high-tech, low-tech in between. Made in the Shade will do it all, including installation. 720-458-6566, 720-458-6566, denvershades.co. You know, a lot of people do not understand that they don't have to leave their money in a retirement account. People think that if they make a transfer of a bundle of money out of their retirement account, they have to close it. I'm going to tell you what I did. I took a bundle of money out of my 401k and put it into an annuity and kept my 401k open for the future. You can do that. Joe Chiano knows best. He's the one that gave me the idea. Joe, talk about that.
Yes, Tom. You know, people don't have to leave their money in a 401k. They're absolutely free to transfer that money into a safer place, a place that will grow their money without any risk of the stock market.
And they're not penalized when they do it. It's a rollover.
They're not penalized at all whatsoever. There's no 10% penalties, and there's absolutely no taxation.
Right.
Which is really, really well. So tax-free is a tax-free rollover, and they can put it into an annuity just like you did, and it will guarantee that their money will grow. Guaranteed, Tom, that the money will grow and protect our money against losses, and it will give them a benefit of an income for the rest of their lives, guaranteed, a guaranteed income for life. And on top of that, Tom, people get long-term care benefits, and you know how important that is. And today's, day and time, people are needing either in-home care, assisted living, nursing home care,
Good afternoon. Thanks for
Alzheimer's
calling the Tom
care.
Martino Show.
And this annuity that we have at Become the Banker is absolutely self-contained. It has everything: the guaranteed growth, protection,
actually, I sent you an
guaranteed
email.
income for
Tom
life,
would like
and long-term
you to
care
send
benefits.
No, and cost of living too, right? Cost of living.
Yes, cost of living increases as well.
That's Joe Chiano. I want you to call Joe and Jordan Certified Financial Planners and their team. 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600. Talk to them in person. 303-779-6600.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, bye. Because we're not doing anything to help you.
UPenn trustees hold emergency meeting after president's disastrous testimony.
Don't threaten me.
I didn't hear. I didn't pay attention to him as much as I did the Harvard woman.
Yeah, she's horrible. This one.
Even worse than the Harvard.
All right. Take care.
The
Did
same.
you hear, did you hear it?
Yeah, you kidding? They play the clip every half hour.
I'm waiting for Atlas folks to get back to me for your year-end payroll and all that.
You know what? God, I'm tired.
I've got to run that before I do the 401k.
Okay, let me go to, I sent them an invite. I wanted to do a Zoom with them, and then I'll tell you what we're doing. Hold on.
Okay. Just tell me the numbers and where they go. And I'll get it all plugged in, but I just need the numbers.
God, she couldn't answer. Listen to this. She struggled to answer the question on Tuesday about whether calling for the genocide of Jews violates the respective school's code of conduct. She couldn't say it. It's just unbelievable.
You know your whole address change notice?
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to figure out. Okay, you know
They figured it out.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a PO box on there that they had.
Ole
it was in their
me
it was in their computer.
If your payroll reports don't show Vassar Way, you need to change it. I said they've always been Monaco for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but change it. It doesn't matter. What difference does it make?
If they go to Vassar or here?
Yeah, I'll bring you everything. In fact, it's better if they come here.
I'm not worried about you bringing me everything. I just never thought to change it. But I'll work on changing all of that then. I guess I got to figure out where.
You didn't make any 401k yet?
I've got to run your big payroll. I need
Okay.
the big phone or the big number first before I can do that. I have a week or two to do it, but the sooner the
Okay.
better.
I want to have a short meeting after the show right here. It will be less than 10 minutes, but I got some great ideas I want to run by you.
Bugs the crap out of me.
Both.
No,
Like-
prove that it's pointless.
But the thing about it is, it's so
I just
easy
said,
to
please,
just
guys,
like
get
all you
back
got to
to me.
do is hit it
It's
with your
been taking
card
them
and
a
it
while,
goes off.
man. I don't know why. They're not that busy right now. This is not that busy a time of year, is it?
I don't know why more people don't do it.
Chesney and Zach Brown together at Mile High in July.
10 seconds, guys.
Cool.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Get your calls in. We have open lines. Jim Park is with us from Keelan Park. And then Deputy Doc has some follow-ups. Doc, go ahead. Tell me who they are, man.
Okay, first one is Eva, about the dog that was killed.
Yeah, well, now here's what happened. Eva's family had these two Great Pyrenees they absolutely love. And they said they got out. And in the process of getting them and catching them, the police and dog control say one of them died. She was very upset and wanted to know why, wanted all kinds of information. And she said they're not forthcoming with information at all. And I said, well, that's weird. What's going on with that? She said it was animal control. They say you have no reason to get information. We did a necropsy to find out why the dog died, but you don't get to see the information. And it just seems all mysterious. Doc, you called them. What did they say?
Well, there's an interesting story, Tom. I got in touch with the vet hospital where it was to leave a message to call me. Right after I did that, Eva called me back and said that she had talked, because I wanted to talk. They wouldn't give her any information because she wasn't the owner of the dog. Her son was the owner of the dog.
So will they give information to the son?
They will, but...
Point that towards your mouth, by the way. I'm just curious.
But the difference is the son wants the dog cremated. He doesn't want to have a burial. So she was basically asking for something that was different from what the owner of the dog wanted. So she called back and said, look, I understand now. I can't have it my way. My son is going to make all the decisions, and he's decided to have the dog cremated.
Okay, so it was all
you
straightened
for
it
nothing.
out. Okay, you straightened it out though.
Okay.
I think she was more upset than her son. Anyway, go ahead.
And also, Erica called up about a problem with Omira.
What was that problem? She said they did some repairs, I guess.
Well, she's the one that had the battery charged and ruined the radio.
Oh, here's what they did. When she went there looking for a car, her car didn't start. They jumped it, and she said they crossed the wires and ruined it.
Right.
And what was her name?
Erica.
Yeah. So we sent her to Sheridan Auto Tech.
Right.
find
And
out.
Sheridan Auto Tech just acknowledged the damage, but they did not give her anything saying that the charging caused it. So then I called up O'Meara, and I think something's going on there.
With O'Meara?
Yeah, because the two people that we tried to speak to no longer work there. So I think part of the problem is O'Meara's going under some kind of, crazy personnel changes, and it's very hard to pin down what's going on. So I left a message with the general manager, and I'll try him again this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, they should step forward. If they did a cross charge, although who knows, they should step forward. So thank you for
But
following
don't you
up.
think something's going on if they're having that kind of personnel turnover?
Well, two people or more. I don't know. If two people, it's not that bad. But I don't think it was done because of this, but it could have been. So we'll follow up. Robert, welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is the number you call. What's going on, bro?
My wife delivers blood as a volunteer to many hospitals around the state, and she wants to get the is it the fifth variant for the COVID-19 virus, especially since she has so much exposure. Is there some kind of government program like US.gov virus or something or vaccine that she should contact to see if she can get one for free? Otherwise,
Don't they?
it's
Wait.
$149.
I thought all the COVID vaccines are free.
I think the fifth.
Wait a minute. I thought they were all free. Does she have insurance?
Not anymore, man.
No? Man, they were giving them out like candy.
Yeah, but if it's covered by most insurance companies and definitely by any kind of government entity like the VA, Medicare,
Okay, let me
or
ask you this,
Medicaid.
Robert, she wants to get the which shot does she want?
The latest one, the one that just came out several months ago.
By-
I think it's number 5.
By Pfizer?
I think so.
Okay.
It's two, Tom, Pfizer and Moderna.
Are they both good?
Well,
I
they're
mean, both
basically
the
the same, yeah.
I shouldn't use the word good. Robert, I swear to God, I didn't know you had to have insurance. I didn't know. I mean,
I did not know that either. I
but
think
she
there's some government program.
doesn't have insurance.
I don't think so.
Mike, there used to be a time if you went out and said, "I want a vaccine," 1,000 liberals would poke you, and you'd be done. They would do it free. In fact, they'd give you a flag to wave and everything. And the Pfizer
Do you guys
flag.
not have health insurance?
I don't know what she has. I'm on Medicare, but I don't know what she has.
How old is she?
And she's 63, I believe.
So you're a cradle robber.
Well,
You
she's healthy.
okay? Listen, man.
No,
If she's 63 and she wants to poison herself, she should have that freedom. And I'm just joking. I'll probably be bumped off of Facebook again for that.
So Public
Tom-
Health Institute at Denver Health, they have
Yeah.
very low cost.
Right, Denver Health.
How much
or-
is it, Mark? Do you know?
It's either free or low cost. That's all it says.
Right, Denver. I was going to say it's Denver Health or University of Colorado Anschutz.
I mean, $49 is pretty low cost. Is that what they said it would cost, Robert, without insurance?
They said $149.
That's
Or
ridiculous.
$169. I can't remember exactly what it was.
There's got to be free COVID vaccines, man. God, Pfizer's been drawing the public dole for so long. I mean,
I thought I heard there's something about U.S. Gov.
Mark
Did
said
anybody
most
know
health
about that?
departments, Mark says most municipal health departments will give it out for a very low cost or free.
Okay, I'll try that then.
Yeah, call
First,
and then
I'll try that.
and then you understand when you go to one of the public health departments, that in itself puts you at risk. But go ahead. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Of course, you could fortify your body and your immune system and all of that, but that's against the law. I mean, they won't let you talk about that. You could just get a stronger immune system. That would help. I don't know if it's fail-safe or not. I mean, obviously, there's people who get it no matter what. But you know what? It's just a sad fact. This is what I was kicked off of Facebook for once before. They said false information. I said it cannot hurt you to have a strong immune system. In fact, I think they took us off of YouTube too. A strong immune system will help everyone, whether you get the vaccine or not. It will help you. A strong immune system. I have almost a bulletproof immune system. Why? Because I take care of myself. Take care of yourself. That doesn't mean I'm against vaccines. I'm not. I get vaccines. I get some of them. And it should be your choice. But no matter what, exercise, eating right, and supplementation. Even if you eat right, unfortunately, we need supplementation. We do. We're just not getting enough from our food. That's just it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Eva says there's more information than you gave about the dog, Deputy Doc. Eva, he said he said he contacted animal control, and they said, look, she's not the owner. We will communicate with the son. The son said he wants to see the dog cremated. He doesn't care about getting the dog back. What about you?
Tom, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. The last part is not true. Nobody has the legal right, according to animal control or CSU Vet Hospital. Once the dog had a necropsy, which in human terms would be an autopsy, they will not release it to the family. That is what we wanted to do. We all wanted to bury the dog.
According to Deputy Doc, the son wanted cremation. Where'd you get that?
That's what you told me yesterday, Eva.
Oh,
I said that my son took over, that nobody in the system could talk to me, that he took control. But it isn't him that wanted the cremation. CSU, Veterinary Hospital, and Animal Control, they will not turn the body back to the
because
family.
It's all cut up. It's cut up.
Exactly. And they will not allow us to bury it. They have precious memories, and I call them too. And in that place is cremates. They will not allow the body not to be cremated.
And how much do they charge for it? Precious.
And you told me that your son was
How
okay.
much do Precious Memories charge for that cremation?
I don't know. I don't care. The point is, we wanted the body.
Eva,
and
you know what? This is not, honest to God, this is not something I'm willing to fight for. Who cares? Whether you get the body or tell me whether you get the body or ashes. Who cares? I'm serious. It's a 4-year. Why?
Because
you can bury the ashes. Why do you need the body?
Hell no. Because they're burning his body. I don't want him burned.
Okay.
He suffered enough.
Okay, Eva. I'm assuming he's not going to feel it, but that's just me. Even now, you're sounding, honest to God, you're sounding like a nut. I know you're attached, but I can't fight for you, okay? I'm sorry. I really am sorry, by the way. I don't want to make fun of you. But she said it all right there when she said, I don't want him to suffer anymore. He suffered enough. I don't even know what happened to the dog. Doc, when will they release what happened? Was he killed? Was he shot? What happened? Do you know?
No, but they will release the necropsy report to the son.
They will.
That's what I was
And that
told.
will have why he died.
Yes.
Okay. Gosh. I don't know.
Son was okay with the cremation.
I'm just saying.
She's the only one that's not okay with the cremation.
Is that frequent flyer, Eva? I could not tell today. That's
That's a big dog,
one
too.
That was in love with the Bee Gees?
No. That was TJ.
She's
Eva,
dead.
the one we had to call the cops on her grandson up north because.
Oh, my God.
Is that her?
That could be.
I could not tell this time. Usually I can tell.
That could have been.
That could be.
That could have been.
Is her number a 970 number?
Yes.
That is her. That is her.
That woman has trauma.
She does.
Yep.
Agreed.
What is this message?
Speaking of frequent
Lazy
flyers.
days? Is it too late to ask? Can you do lazy days? Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to take this video.
Is it lazydays.com?
Yeah.
What happened to Drew? We haven't heard from him for a long time.
Hey, give me 30.
Sorry, I got to look at this video.
Okay. I'm telling you, the world has gone nuts. Just because you don't get a job, you go out and kill people.
Mental health is a scary thing.
Man, if you're a retired couple, let's say you got a family. Forget about just being retired, but let's say you have young kids. Let's say you are ready to retire. Let's say you're somewhere in between and you've never got into camping. You got to check out Lazy Days RV. These guys are unbelievable. The location that I love is actually called Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont. They have the biggest selection ever of fifth wheels, travel trailers, motorhomes, and they have got one of the largest, best maintenance facilities out there. Check them out at lazydays.com. That's lazydays.com.
I'm starting to feel it. I'm like
Charlie Sheen's
really
coming
kind
back
of
on.
like spacing.
He teamed up with
right
the guy that fired him, Lori.
I'm a little, no, I'm like slow.
He's going to do a
I think I
half-hour
wanna-
comedy show.
It's a little, like my movements are a
It's
little
going to be
slow.
about him and a bookie.
The grapes
I guess
are
he's a
tasting
bookie.
a little weird.
He must be out of money.
Chuck Lorre. Well, I think he went through rehab. I think he's all, good. If you recall, he went crazy, man.
That was
all hopped up on that tiger
demonic. It says here, demonic possession, alcohol addiction, drug addiction. You name it, he had it. I remember an interview. He was yelling, "I've got tiger's blood," whatever that meant. But I will say this: I've always liked 2.5 Men. I thought that was a pretty good show.
And he is a talented actor.
Very, yeah. His whole family, really.
Yeah.
His dad. Which one was in, what was the war movie really popular?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse now. But what Sheen was it?
That was Martin Sheen.
Martin.
Hey, Tommy, you think I should set up a troubleshooter dinner for January like we did this year? Instead of doing it over the holiday, doing it in January?
Yeah,
That was a big.
All right.
No?
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
All right.
I'm
All
fine.
right.
I was just gonna give an update, but I.
Somebody call me.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Well, pull us off YouTube.
What?
Come.
Hi, Tom Martino. Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. With estate planning, somebody wants to know, you don't do family law, but you do estate planning. So how do you know, and how do you keep people from making mistakes like that? For example, if somebody owned a home and they've owned it for a certain number of years, then they're married, but they're married 10 years, which would be 10% a year up to 50% a wife is entitled to. Do you go over all of that, even though you're not technically real estate attorneys, but you do estate law? So, I mean, that is part of estate law, right? I mean, you tell them what they have to do is what I meant.
Yeah, our job is to make sure that the property gets to the next generation and that people are taken care of so they avoid what we call living probate, which is being in a situation where the court has to make decisions for them. And so, you know, when you've got property like that, we have to go through all of that and make sure that everything's titled correctly so that they can avoid probate.
So when you're married to somebody, the spouse is entitled to 10% per year up to 10 years for 50% automatically.
Of appreciation and what goes with that.
Of anything that happened during the marriage.
Correct.
Whether purchases or appreciation.
Marital property.
Right.
Yeah.
Marital property is appreciation. If artwork went up in value, if the house went up in value, if their company went up in value, I mean, all of this can be evaluated and the spouse could claim 50%.
Yeah. And the judge can divide it up equally according to what they view as equal. And so it's not always as cut and dry as who owns what, especially if there's kids involved.
Now, that brings us to our next text. I'm going to sum it up. It's too long. A mixed family. They've been married. The husband's been married to her for 10 years. She has a lot of money. And a lot of wealth has accumulated over that 10 years of marriage. She has kids. He has kids. Now, they feel it's unfair that he's entitled to 50% of appreciation and marital property that will go to his kids. And his kids had nothing to do with her. And so is there a way that when it goes to the spouse to make it come back to her kids when he dies? Or does he get to do anything he wants with it?
Well, you can solve that issue 100 times out of 100, but you've got to do the proactive planning. You can put it into a trust.
If you don't, it goes to her or him.
Absolutely.
And then his kids can wallow in it, and even though his kids had nothing to do with his life, with her life.
Yeah, people don't realize, but if you don't have an estate plan, the state of Colorado has one for you. It's called intestacy, and the legislature has a statute that decides where all that goes, and it's not going to be where you want it to go.
So, especially with mixed families.
Absolutely.
No one cares if you have kids together if everything goes to the kids. But for God's sakes, if somebody worked their ass off for their entire life and then half goes to a new spouse, not half of everything, but half of a good part of it goes to a new spouse, and that new spouse has kids. Wow. Yeah. That's weird.
And even if you don't have a mixed family, if you leave an inheritance to your kids and then one of your kids gets divorced without the right protection, half of it can go out the door with your cheating ex-son-in-law. It's a complicated situation that you've got to plan for.
So you have to write in anticipation of the worst.
Anticipation of the worst. And it's a big document that you're never going to be able to figure out if you're trying to write it on your own by hand. But
so it would basically spell out what happens to assets.
Absolutely.
So can you put your entire business interest in a trust?
You absolutely can.
And then dictate what happens to it.
Yep. And you've got to make sure that you've got management provisions and things figured out there, but we can control the ownership all the way through to make sure that the right people are making the right decisions.
Now, for the initial consultation to unload on you, do you do that free?
We do that absolutely free.
And then come back with recommendations.
Come back with recommendations, and we do flat fee pricing so nobody's ever surprised by a bill.
God, this sounds good. Because I got to finish mine, you know. I got to finish mine.
Come on down. We're happy to help you. We can make this work.
Of course. Keelan Park, I can always say, you know, not only are they sponsors, but I'm a client just like with Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, and you're good quality people. So the biggest mistake we talked about, people don't have they don't have a plan. That's the biggest mistake. I would venture to say the second one is they do a plan but don't complete it.
They do.
Like not funding the trust and all that.
Yeah, and a lot of people will do a will and then they get surprised when they get probate it, for their parents or whoever after they die. But even if you go the route of having a living trust in place and then you don't put property into it, you haven't really accomplished anything.
The next one is, what about like after death? Can you control for how long what the kids do with the assets? Can you help them through their life?
100%. We do that very often for families where you've got an addiction problem or somebody that has a history of making poor financial decisions or marital problems. You can determine what's going to happen with that money, how the kids will be able to use it, when they'll have access to it, how it'll be invested.
Cool. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, by the way, for all your garage door needs. I love these people. Why do I love them? Because they'll come 24/7 to your home. You can't get your door open or closed, or you just want an inspection, or you want an opener, or you want a section of the door, or hinge bolts. They're one of the only ones that are actually factory authorized by most factories to correct their doors under warranty or otherwise. 720-370-3987. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. 720-370-3987. Now,
On the Tom Martino Show, how can I help you?
Where's your actual office?
Fort Collins.
Jim Park from Keel and Park. They are one of our firms that does wills, trusts, and estates.
We do. And there's a firm that we
Keel
will
is
borrow office space from down here in Denver.
K-E-L-E.
The firm I used to work for years
Park
back.
is
Minor and Brown.
P-A-R-K-E.
So
And their website's pretty easy to remember, lawkp.com.
we also do virtual meetings, and a lot of people like that.
Okay, no problem. Well, the other thing that, and I really don't necessarily like to do this, but they'll have, like, if you go to Malibu and they'll do, like, crab boils and stuff like that, and, like right on the beach.
The whole
But
Disney
the only
organization.
thing that bugs me about crab
I don't know,
stuff
just-
like that is that
for some
you
reason
work
he's pissed
for like
off
an
at
hour
Disney.
and a half and get, you know, a
John
few
Fuller
bites
is a
of crab.
personal injury attorney
Forkful.
Yeah,
that really
exactly.
takes the
It's like,
personal part of that seriously. What John Fuller does is he talks to you from day one when you call the firm. There's no intake counselor or committee. There's no call center. They route you to John Fuller. Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R, Fuller Law. Find him at referralist.com. I'll also give you his number and his website. But what I love about him is he talks to you. He gives you your options. If you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. And he truly fights for you, where you get his cell phone number and can call or text at any time. And he truly means it. Notice the difference when you call John Fuller first. You're going to talk to him. That's what I love. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. myaccidentlawyer.co. Another attorney that'll talk to you is Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services. In fact, he can do Zoom meetings with you. He can meet with you. He can attend closings. He can go over documents virtually, whatever you want him to do. If it has to do with real estate, I urge you to go to O'Brien Legal Services before it's too late. So go to him to review stuff. Go to him with any conflicts with neighbors or borders or surveys or anything real estate, commercial or residential. 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. olslaw.com.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online.
do you want me to call Alphabet about the toy drive?
Yeah, we may as well.
Free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100%
So listen,
process.
we have enough to do 1,000 from our charity account for that, right? To the toy drive. So then we
Are
have.
you doing it too?
Well, you said the charity account has some leftover funds in it, right? From people, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have to use them up anyway. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I want your opinion on this because we all collect that money. I mean, what do you think?
As far as giving it for the toy drive?
Or some of it, or what? Or maybe we leave a little left for December. I don't know. What do you think, Mark? What do you think? Fix this doing 1,000. Integra wants to do 1,000, I think. I want to do one. And I know we have enough, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, why not?
We paid the rent. I mean, can I tell you something? I supervise that, and I mean, when you see these families, you can't believe how hurt they are. I mean,
yeah, it's
not like, and we're not spending a lot of money on any one family.
all right, so then I'll get with Albertus and.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them. We're going to get them on. Yeah, we'll tell them. We'll tell them about
Albertus?
Integra too, because they're great.
You sure
Hi,
they
it's
said
Kelly
that?
over at the Tom Martino
Integra said
Show.
They don't want.
Hi, we've got an open line available and wanted to see if
They
you
called
wanted to
me this
come on
morning.
and talk about the
just
toy
wanna
drive.
Hey, look, they don't want recognition, but I want to tell you they're great. They
And
are
I just
wonderful
want
people.
to make sure
I feel
that
so bad for their youth.
I know the
Oh my
website. The website is
Where does the charity fund come from?
It comes from people that donate. Say, help. Hey, you help me. Help someone else.
FSYC.
Or they hear something.
And they donate
like,
to your fund?
They donate it, and
All
then
right,
we keep
hang
it
on
in
for
a
me.
separate. She
Right,
keeps a
right.
book on it, so we don't use it for
Oh,
ourselves.
no, I understand that.
And
Woman
Albertus,
sets
what's the
Tinder
date of
date
the
on
toy
fire
drive?
after dousing car in gasoline, pulling a lighter out.
December 23rd.
There was some guy that it was on
and
Facebook.
it's
Some
the
woman,
Capital
he
Star?
asked this woman out on her first date. They went to a seafood place. She ate 50 oysters.
Hang on.
Or 60 oysters. While she was on her last plate of oysters, which were expensive, he just went to the bathroom, walked out, and never came back, and left her with the bill for the 50 oysters.
And was she upset about that?
I don't know. I'm sure she was.
We're on Best of. Do you guys still
Hold on,
have
I
to
gotta
come
use
in
the
and
restroom.
work the board?
No idea. I've never worked the best of, but I would assume so.
You know, my gym days are getting to a point where when I'm done, I can't do it. I'm so exhausted. It just doesn't seem normal.
Why don't you work out a little bit less?
Well, because I don't want to.
Okay.
I want to keep my muscle up, but man, no, I'm serious. It used to be I have a lot of. It's not that I'm not recovered. I am, but I'm just so like. It's a good feeling, by the way. It's an endorphin feeling, but it's like really like, you know.
Don't they have some
I
post-workout
think it's
drinks?
obviously it has something to do with being 70. I mean,
10
right?
seconds, guys.
You know, and I don't think it's abnormal.
iHeartRadio app. While streaming KHOW and the full screen player, just click the microphone to record your message. Talk back to Denver's talk station now.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Albertus, you know, we put out the word about the toy drive, and I think things are coming together, bro.
Oh, yeah, I hear they are. And I see they are, too, because I'm looking at my website, and, you know, people are calling.
Yeah, people are, and I want to give a recognition. People say they don't want recognition, and I swear to God they don't, but I'm going to give it anyway. Fix It 24/7. George came through. Frank Duran always comes through. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Sure does.
Integra Insurance called me this morning. Wonderful people. And by the way, anyone who needs health insurance should be calling them. Integra, by the way, and you know, they're wonderful. I just can't say enough about them. Now, I don't know if you heard from them or not, but John Jones and family, they'll be contacting you.
Yes, I have not, but yeah.
Yeah, you will. I gave them your number as well. And then I want to give out the website and all that. The website, you got to put it in exact. It's a little, you know, I mean, it's not just, it doesn't roll off the tongue, but I'll give you the website, so be patient on that. And I'm going to give you Albertus's number as well. And then we're going to do 1,000 as well from the Troubleshooter Network, Mark, Susan, and I, and generous listeners. So we're going to be there. I think we can do it, Albertus. I think we can.
Tom, I was a little worried. Because we had, you know, we came right back from that successful Thanksgiving event. But you told me, you said, come on, man, we can do it.
Yeah.
And we're doing it. And I thank you so much for
Now,
the help.
just so you know, we buy people what they need. We don't spend too much on any one family. We do make sure they're in need. It's not like Thanksgiving where we just give out turkeys. And, of course, you don't have time to check bank accounts. If, you know, people come for a turkey, we figure they're in need. And if you were there, you'd know they're in need. The other thing, though, with the Christmas stuff, it's a little different. Sometimes a gift card, sometimes even diapers and household goods. But most of the time, toys for the kids. And we want I'm going to give out this phone number. So, and I want the and the website. So people both in need or people want to donate, feel free to look at the information on the website. It's December 23rd. We're going to be giving this out from noon to 3. And we're going to be on 919 East Colfax. That's because of Capital Cigars. And our friend Neil it's Neil, right? I'm sorry.
Yes, Neil.
Yeah, Neil's going to be there helping. He lends us his location to be out in front. And that's December 23rd. So tell people in need from noon to 3. Now we're hoping we can get enough for everyone. It's going to be, listen, every year, unfortunately, we have to turn people away sometimes. And I'm going to give out the information for donating right now. Okay, listen. His number, Albertus, and Albertus and I make sure every penny go to the families. 303-521-7211, 521-7211. The website is S as in Sam, Frank YC, SFYCbasketballcamp.com, SFYCbasketballcamp.com. So, Albertus, once again, thank you. We'll be checking in. Save all your problems for me. We got another hour to go on the Troubleshooter Show.
Beautiful kitchen countertops in just 2 weeks. Yes, from the art.
Okay. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I was looking at
How's your son doing?
halibut because I've been
Doing great.
craving halibut.
They're-
We usually go
they're
down to
going on their
Tony's
honeymoon.
to get it because it's a little bit better
next
quality,
middle
but
of they're
I
taking
don't want to
3.5
drive all the way
weeks
over
to
there.
go to,
So
Southeast Asia.
I was looking at King Soopers,
To go to Vietnam,
$28.99 a
Thailand,
pound.
Cambodia. They didn't have the time off.
I mean,
after they got
I might as
married.
well go to
Now they
Ocean
both have
Prime.
Enough time off that they'll get paid for it. So it should be a cool trip.
Where should we have our dinner?
I'm sorry? What about it? Yeah, I could set it up there. Maggiano's, Perry's, where else could we set it up? I mean, Perry's is all, I love Perry's. I'll never argue that. Yeah, I can make a reservation for January.
You sure we can't squeeze it in December, right?
I think if I can try, even if I could get a reservation for that many people during the week, I don't know if I can round these folks up.
Really, Deputy Doc and him and
Scott?
Yeah, Scott is and Dollar and Doc.
Uh-huh.
And then
I mean, we get a free meal.
didn't you come last year?
We had something at Christmas. Yeah, but it was just the 6 of us.
Well, there was.
We did it in January this year, didn't we?
I forget. Anyway, so, yeah.
And then it'd be Kelly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Figure it out. We always just the media staff is great. I like Perry's, but it doesn't have to be.
I love Perry's. I'll love it. It's my favorite. All right. Let me wrap my head around that. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, this is going to be a busy month.
I think my 2 cents, I think if you invite people during December for January, it'll be much better. Because they'll know it's a Christmas thing, but this way it won't interfere with their holiday plans, and probably everybody will be available in January.
Hey, I want to go to Newport. I want to do 1 or 2 shows for Newport before we leave here for the long break.
So you're going to do that next week?
Well, it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would just like to take some gear and see. What are you doing, by the way, with the extra roadie? What are you doing with it?
I think it stays in the bus, doesn't it?
Extra road.
Yeah, we have an extra roadie we bought.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah, it's sitting in our bus. Yeah. The one I couldn't find for a year.
I'm just
One I
wondering-
found.
I'm wondering, is it worth taking that, or should I just use the unit? I mean, truly, I'm not going to have guests or anything. What do you think? It's easier just probably the Comrex, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't need the roadie.
Yeah, the only thing you got to remember on Comrex, you don't have a mute button.
Yeah, but I have an on-off button that I can take with me. Yeah, I think if we talk about, but I'm going to start doing remotes right before I retire. I'm going to do remotes for like a month or 2 from now.
You're retired?
Yeah, soon.
Really?
Yeah, not this year, but I will.
All right.
No, I am. I'm going to phase. I'm going to phase it. We're not going to make announcements, but we're going to phase it. I want to do this, the remote for like 1 or 2 months. I want to spend some time because we have a place out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we,
Is it on the golf course?
no, but it's on a beautiful area. It's on a cliff overlooking the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that would be a great place to spend some winter time.
I think it's a great place to spend some winter time too, Tommy.
You got a spare room for the majors?
He's like, because I'm retiring. Like,
Yeah,
really?
sure.
Yeah, you've only been saying that now.
10 years.
10 years he's been saying that. I'm retiring.
Hey guys, welcome to my video.
We should, if he's going to be, where'd he say, Miami next week? I didn't hear.
Newport.
Maybe we take whatever days he's doing it off then.
What do you mean? We got guests.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got guests all next week.
Okay.
We got guests in the studio. I think we need to be here. Let's see, who do we have next week? Da-da-da-da.
Jim, did you need another water or anything? Oh, you're
Nope,
good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I got Bob Logan, Retirement Planning Center, Paul Dowding, Made in the Shade.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Levine Law, your Denver personal injury lawyer.
Sad that someone did not take it over. I got back on Tuesday and my neighbor told me about the stagecoach. Yeah. Now there will be more bikes at the tailgate in Parker.
Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies for the last one day for a while with highs in the mid-60s. Overnight low of 29 degrees. We'll see some snow coming tomorrow. Temperatures dropping with a high of only 39. Current temperature in Denver is 64 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan at 6:30 KHOP.
After a car accident, hire a lawyer with 30 years experience. Call me, Jordan Levine, 303-333-8000. At Levine Law.
Dak File says, Suze, Mark is so lucky. I'll take that as a compliment.
We've always said he outkicked his coverage. There's no question.
I never heard that term, that phrase until I started here.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard that
It's a male
term
thing.
in my life.
Because it's a male thing.
Or phrase.
So we're going to Ruth Chris tonight. I think that's a great steak. My son and my daughter-in-law and I.
I love Ruth's.
I do too.
Is it the one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ruth's. They're great.
It's my belated birthday dinner.
Oh, nice.
Well, because the day after my birthday, they were there waiting for me. I thought it was on Wednesday. They started on Tuesday, so they're at Ruth's Chris waiting for me, and my son called my phone, which was turned off for some reason, and he was worried.
They're not going to stop trying. We'll talk about it. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. We have open lines for the first time this morning. And by the way, we've been talking a little bit about estate planning, which means wills, trusts, probate, avoiding probate, going to probate, challenging wills. Somebody wants to know, how do you contest a will? Who can contest a will? This person was a friend, but is sure that he was meant to be left something. Can people just be a pest like that? I'm not saying, Texter, that you're a pest, but just in case. What do you think?
Yeah, typically you've got to have a familial relationship to be able to contest a will.
So what does that mean?
So that means you're a parent, you're a child, you're a sibling, you're a cousin, somebody that would naturally inherit.
So what if the family doesn't even know this guy, but he says, oh, yeah, we were good friends at the airport or at the whatever. I say the airport because I fly, but let's say at the barn, I have a horse there or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So first of all, it'd be tough for that person to get notice of the probate proceedings in the first place because nobody's going to notify them of what's going on.
Let's say they truly do know him and he died.
Yeah.
Whether he's real or not, he knows he died and he says, look, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why you have a good attorney working with you on a probate, and they just tell them, sorry, unless you can show some evidence that there was some promise made to you, you don't even have a ticket to get into court in that instance.
Wow. So it's not like it's a public thing and just somebody can do it. The judge can say, forget you.
The judge can say, forget you. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be the legal fees involved in somebody trying to make that claim. That's one of the challenges about probate is it is public, and any nosy neighbor can go and access court records and see what's going on. Doesn't mean that they'll be able to get at the assets, but they can make trouble and they can make your life difficult. All of that can be avoided with a revocable trust, a living trust that you put your property into before you die, and then there's nothing that gets filed with the court after you pass away. Nobody gets to know how much you had or how much you owed or where the money goes.
Okay, 303-713-TALK is our number. As I said, the next question has to do with an irrevocable trust. How irrevocable is it? Somebody had one, they're sorry. What goes on with that? First of all, explain what an irrevocable trust is and why somebody would open one. Why would somebody open an irrevocable trust?
Yeah, so an irrevocable trust is a trust that once it's signed, you usually can't change what it says. You can't go back and revoke it. Whatever it says on that piece of paper at the time you sign it is what's there. Now, the reason somebody would do that, oftentimes it's to avoid estate taxes. Sometimes it's to hold life insurance and to make sure that the life insurance isn't hit by estate taxes. Sometimes it's due to elder law or planning for somebody that may be going into a nursing home. But there are certain ways that you could perhaps modify that, but Colorado has statutes that would allow for those things to be modified if you have everybody's approval.
What about just done away with? Can you do away with them once created?
That's really complicated to do unless you've got everybody's approval and the court can take a look at it.
If you do an irrevocable trust for your kids, but you do it, aren't you the one that's in charge of that, or do you have to get all of their approval?
Yeah, if they're listed as beneficiaries of the trust, then yeah, I've got to get their approval as well.
Okay,
once I sign a document.
Okay, once it's done then, it's not just because it's done, but you literally have to get the approval of the people who you have named as the beneficiary.
Yep, because you don't own that property anymore once it's been put into the trust. The rights that you had to the property are no longer yours.
All right. Now, 303-713-TALK. Listen to this one. In Colorado, it's in the top 10 list of the decline of business. Business is shutting down, moving away, or going online. What do you think? A decline in brick and mortar retail, a decline in retail were in the top 10.
I'm really surprised.
Now, you know who the other ones are without, right? I mean, don't we know?
New York, Los Angeles, Washington,
right. all
D.C.,
the big crime-ridden
Chicago,
cities.
Detroit.
Actually, but, really, I was surprised here because some of these states, for example, that's seen the biggest decline are some of the, like Washington. That's the upper one, right? Then that's Oregon, right? Washington.
You mean D.C. or the state?
No, the state. You have Colorado, but our neighbor, Nevada's doing bad. So these are decline in actual stores. More and more people are shifting to online. I swear to God, yeah. I don't think I ever shop. I really don't shop anymore. Mark, I can get stuff the next day mostly. I sometimes can get stuff the same day. My shopping, personally, has declined about 95%. I swear to you, 95%. I don't think I walk into stores. I am so sick and tired of not finding stuff. And then, I don't know. So Wayne, what do you have for Keelan Park? Go ahead. And by the way, anyone can call with any problem, but we do have Keelan Park, estate planning attorneys here, so it's a good time to call about that. Wayne, go ahead.
Hey, thank you for having me. I just wanted to ask a quick question. I had a neighbor pass away, and apparently he does not have a will. And it seems like a distant relative of his has come just basically taking whatever they want out of the house. So I was just wondering how legal that is, and if that person does have a right to it, how would they get such a right when there is no will?
Yeah, so when there is no will, the state of Colorado has a statute called the intestacy statute that determines who gets the property. Now, the first thing that has to happen is a personal representative has to be appointed by the court. That doesn't stop somebody from going into a house and stealing something, and relatives sometimes do that. That's why you always want to pay attention to who doesn't show up at the funeral, because oftentimes they're at the house taking things that they shouldn't be taking. Do you have any contact with this individual that's going and taking things from the home, and do they have any paperwork from the court saying that they have the right to do that?
Well, unfortunately, I was helping them because I thought that they had the okay. She said she had a letter from her lawyer, and I just kind of went with
From
that.
wait. Her lawyer is telling her she can go get stuff?
Yeah.
Is there any relation of this person to the deceased?
I do believe she's a niece. It's kind of amazing because they're all out-of-state people, and they just showed up and just started nailing things out of this guy's house. I mean, he's got some pretty high-end stuff.
Yeah, I would be very careful if I were you not to be moving stuff out of the house. If they're going to do that, that's on them, but don't be involved in doing that unless you are 100% certain that they've been appointed by the court and have the right to do that.
How would I find out if they, let's say I'm a nosy neighbor, how would I find out that they had the authority to do that, that they were appointed by the court?
How do you find it? Wouldn't it be in the probate filing?
Yeah, it would be in the probate filing. And so you could go to the probate court and ask to see any records. If the person didn't have a will, you'd have to ask who would have opened probate. And it may have been distant family members if there were children or
Can you
a
search
spouse.
probate records by a last name of the deceased?
Yeah, you can go to the probate court and you can find that information. It's a little bit more complicated online.
Isn't it all public or not?
It's all public, yes.
Could I just play devil's advocate?
Now, is the will public if it's in the probate court filed with? And do you have to file a will with probate court first of all when someone dies?
Yes.
So you can't open probate without a will or an intestate document.
Correct.
Doc.
So I was saying, Wayne, not to be facetious, but why is it any of your business? The guy is dead. You have no relationship with him as far as the bloodline goes, so keep your nose out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just bugs you that this is happening, right?
Well, honestly, he's my neighbor for about 50 years.
I think I'd care. What about the family? Why aren't they doing anything to stop them?
Well, it's kind of a weird story. They had a family. They had a friend get together for him. He's a pretty high profile engineer, and his friends basically threw a party for him. But this person that's taking the items wasn't at it, and it just seems really strange to me that all of a sudden they show up.
But that's what I'm asking. The rest of the family, why aren't they stopping her?
Well, I know for a fact that his father and mother are dead, and his sister is also deceased. So I think that's pretty much the end of his.
Well, maybe she is the only heir. Have you ever considered that?
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Because what does it do if he didn't have? Did you say he has a will or not, or you don't know?
No, he does not.
How do you know that?
Well, because they searched the house for it. And they had his computer up, and they had the actual state come in and do an inventory.
Okay, fine.
So I think that's all.
So
kind of goes
if you
together.
don't have a will, it goes to your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, it goes to your kids, right?
Yep.
And if you don't have kids, it goes to your parents, right? I mean, or how is that it?
Yeah, it would go up to your parents, and then it would go to siblings and their descendants. And if you don't have siblings or descendants, then we start looking to your grandparents. Are they alive?
What about
And-
nieces and nephews? Is that
Yeah, so if you don't have a spouse or kids and your siblings are deceased, your nieces or nephews could, functionally
Wow.
inherit from that. Now that's not something that somebody would typically choose, which is why it's so important to do the planning in advance so you don't get caught in this situation.
But don't you always hear crazy stories about people getting rich? Oh, my dead uncle who I never knew, I was his last.
I wonder if that ever, have you ever, in all your career, I wonder if that ever happens. Have you ever had someone that you contacted that absolutely was shocked and they inherited a large amount of money?
Actually, yes, and it's typically people in other countries. Some people die without a lot of close family, and it's amazing.
And how much? Give me an idea of something you that was shocking. Anything?
The largest amount that I've ever dealt with was about $12 million that went to somebody that they didn't know about.
It went to somebody who never expected it.
Yeah.
They got a phone call and they got 12. They must have thought it was a scam.
Yeah, and more often than that is people that think that they're going to get a whole bunch of money that end up getting very little or nothing.
So where did it go? Did it go out of the country?
Yeah, family in Europe.
Oh my God, that must have been my cousin Louie. I should have gotten it. No, really.
Yeah.
Oh my. So was he without a will?
No, in that case there was a will, but
everybody died.
Yeah, they had named somebody and the person wasn't there, and so we went looking for who's next of kin, family members that would ultimately receive it, and that's where it ended up.
And what was that relation in Europe to this guy?
Trying to recall, it was a cousin of some sort. I don't remember the
Can
degree.
you imagine just getting a call saying, by the way, did you make the call?
I did not personally make the call. We sent a letter to start with.
And then what? Come on, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well,
and they did you say in the letter how much?
No, not in the initial instance, but eventually the money ends up getting to the person, and it worked out well.
Oh my! Was that person rich?
Now they were.
No.
But I don't know what their financial situation was before this, but the challenging thing
I
is
can't even imagine getting a call or a letter saying, by the way, you don't know this, but you had this uncle or.
Yeah. In the U.S., when you receive an inheritance, it's usually tax-free. There may be income taxes if you sell something. That's not the case in Europe, though. And so when you
that
receive a
person
bunch of
had to
money,
pay?
a bunch of inheritance tax.
Could that
comes along
person
with
have
it.
set up something in the States?
They could have. Absolutely.
They didn't even ask you.
But yeah. And the person receiving it didn't know that it was going to happen, so they never
How
would have
much
thought
tax
to.
do you remember?
I don't know that information.
Could it have been a half?
It's significantly more than that in most cases.
Oh, what a shame. That country became enriched.
Yep. But, the same thing often happens here in the U.S. when people don't worry about estate taxes. It's just that the money gets taken out before it goes to the beneficiary. But, man, estate taxes kill a lot of small businesses. And
Yeah, but that's only if it's above a certain amount, right?
Yep. There's exemption thresholds. And
Yeah, but that's a lot of money, right? 16 million. But I guess if you're like really rich, you need to figure out things like that.
Well, and a lot of people that started a business 30 years ago, they still live very modestly and they don't realize the ultimate value of their business. And
right,
man, that can be really challenging. Plus the amount, 16 million this year, but it ratchets down January 1st, 2026 to 5 million.
But then we hope it'll
16 to 5?
Yeah, it
16
goes
to
from
5,
16 to 5. But don't you think it goes up again by law? Don't they normally up that again?
That would be my speculation because so many people in Congress are going to be impacted by that. So they are incentivized to change it.
Ho, ho, ho! Want to know how to make the holidays truly magical?
It was zero at one time, wasn't it, or not?
2010. Yeah, George Steinbrenner, from the owner of the Yankees, died and didn't pay $1 of estate tax.
Right.
Wait, didn't pay $1 or paid? You mean?
Yeah, there was zero estate tax that year.
Why?
Because that's what sunsetted it. It went from a really, high amount and it ratcheted
What is the
down.
amount now?
The amount now.
Well, hold on. If you want solar, get a company that does it all. Most of them are just sales organizations, and then you never see those people again. We love Red Rock's Roof and Solar. They do not only the sales, they do the service. They do the installation. It's all under one roof, Red Rock's Roof and solar. 303-704-2449. They have generator systems, battery backup systems, total off-grid systems, and guaranteed activation date. Red Rock Solar, that's redrocksrs.com. All right, American Restoration. Why do we love them? Because they take care of your property when you have a catastrophe, like a fire, a flood, a broken pipe. Maybe you have black mold, asbestos, whatever it is you need eradicated, dangerous substances, sometimes meth labs, sometimes unattended death. American Restoration has the EPA certifications, knowledge, know-how to do it right, to work with your insurance company. And remember, your insurance doesn't care who you hire. So if you hire somebody bad, they pay them. They only pay once. Get the right company up front. American Restoration 24/7. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. Or online, amrest247.com.
Yes. Oh, sure. It's Keel and Park. Keele.
What's that, babe?
And Parke. And they can be reached at lawkp.com. Or
Who's coming in
their
tomorrow?
phone
Who's
number
in
is
for Carter?
970
It's only one.
430-4231.
Kevin was in last week.
Yeah, Fort Collins
Jeff
area.
may be out killing things.
No problem. Thank you.
I wasn't hunting.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. How can I help you?
Yeah, somebody was out sick in his place.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, that would be a good question. Hold on for me, and Tom and Mark will be right with you, okay? Hold on.
Supposed to get some decent snow tomorrow.
I may want to do it from home, but I don't want to do it if they can't be alone.
I have to be here. I'm filling in.
But Mark, are you coming in?
Yeah, I have to be
Okay.
here, so he's my driver.
Okay, then maybe I'll. But yeah, we'll be here. You could take your own car if you wanted to.
Mark is a superior driver. Let him drive me in the snow.
Oh, snow, yeah. I insist. With me.
I don't like driving in the snow. I avoid it when I can.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
By the way, Jim, we're covering a lot of good stuff, man. Really.
This is Kelly.
Well, this is a fun experience. Not done something like this before. So.
And it's gonna people the download of podcasts is
Okay.
huge too.
And
So
what
it
is your name?
grows. It does. That's one thing about the radio show. It grows after it's
Mohammed?
It actually grows. Yeah. All right.
You-
morons answer me.
You are welcome to join Mark, Tom, and I in the No Face for
M-O-H-A-N?
Television, Face for Radio.
And what did you want to talk to Tom about?
How do you guys keep from getting jaded with all the stories that you hear about
Okay, let me
people
see
being
if I got
taken
it.
advantage
What's
of?
your email address?
With my time in Denver and before nearly 50 freaking years, I would, but I don't.
Because it feels good to help people.
I still get pissed off when people get ripped off. That goes back to my mom being ripped. I really believe that. I really believe that was imprinted on me when I was a kid. Yep, I remember it.
Pardon me, did you end up mentioning on air we needed deputies? Because somebody reached out via email.
Yes, I did, and I mentioned on my morons here. I
I'm
want.
in touch with someone who left us a voicemail.
Good.
I have your email address, but I don't
We
have
got to do a background check though.
Uh-oh, how do I pass?
Did we do one on Doc?
No,
we
you
need
didn't.
to do one, and I'll tell you why. Because he was a member of the AMA and all that shit. But I'll tell you, man. If we get somebody,
Can you resend them to me? Or better yet, you know what? Did you already talk to Tom
What?
about it?
Those fucking medical communities.
I did not
This is
belong
a
to the
follow-up?
AMA,
Are
by
you
the way.
still having issues?
Nope.
What?
Oh, Tommy, why don't you think you're eating as much?
Okay, and when did you call in last?
Why am I not eating as much? Because
That shit's bad for you,
I
bro.
think
Call
my
in last.
age. It's
Oh, I guess
actually
as you get
it
older,
actually
you eat
reduces
less.
heart attack and stroke, and it's actually
Fucking, we have a good friend, Stephanie Thomas. She had
Friday?
to get off of it. Her gut almost blew up.
Last
Why?
Monday?
10
Follow-up
seconds,
from
guys.
Medication.
Okay.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Annie has a question on hardwood floors. Annie, go ahead. What's going on, Annie?
Hi. Yes, I have the original hardwood floors in this house that was built in '54, and the floors have always been cold. I was in a friend's house recently, and she has hardwood floors, and they were warm. I don't know if they were real hardwood or that vinyl.
So you're talking warm and cold as into the touch.
Right.
And do you know what kind of heat the house had?
Forced air.
Was it forced air on the basement level or garden level that was heating up the floors? Because sometimes people with hot air heat in one floor will heat the floor of the next floor.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
yeah,
if
she has a
yours is on
basement.
the ground floor and it doesn't have
Right.
heat below, or you have hot water heat, you won't get that. You won't get that same feeling.
Okay. That makes sense. That's exactly what it is. Mine is a ranch, and she has a basement. And
Yeah, and even a basement with the air cushion helps more than, let's say, a crawl space. And your ranch is on a crawl space or on a basement?
crawl space.
Okay, that's what it is then. Is your crawl space, you can insulate. You should have someone look at your crawl space and up in your floor and see if the insulation has fallen out or is not viable.
Who would I call?
Okay, you would call an insulation contractor. We have great ones. Mark, who's that one that always calls us when because I always...
Best Way, yeah.
They're good people, man. Best Way Insulation on our referral list at referralist.com. Best Way. You talk to her. They have all kinds of solutions for your floors.
Okay.
And they'll inspect it. You might just have to put some extra stuff there.
Uh-huh.
How cold does it get on the floor?
Well, I don't want to walk on it. I mean,
In
I
bare
have to wear
feet.
shoes
Well, you
or
know what?
socks.
You should be able to walk on your floors with bare feet and have no problem.
Yes. Yeah, I would like that.
You need that. You
Okay.
need to call Best Way, see what they say. Call us back and let us know. I'd love to hear about it. Now, Mohan is calling. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. He thinks he overpaid for hanging a light fixture. Mohan, what happened?
Oh, not light fixture, Tom. It is my Home Depot kitchen thing. Kitchen.
You went to Home Depot. Did they? Are they the ones that gave you the installer?
Yeah, they send me the installer. They send me the electrical guys, plumbing guys, all that. But then things went wrong. I said,
Mohan, hold on, man. I'm having a tough time understanding you. Let's just do question and answer here. How much did you pay all in for that light fixture? How much total, everything? Did he hang up? Yeah.
No, I am here.
Okay. How much did you pay for the light fixture, counting everything?
No, actually, it is a kitchen refinishing.
It's not a light fixture.
I'm sorry. That's what this thing said. That's what the note said. I'm so sorry. How much did you pay for the entire kitchen remodel?
$8,609.
Now, did that include, that money include, did he say 6,000, right?
8,000.
8,000.
Yeah,
8,600. Okay.
Then,
Did the $8,000 include cabinets?
that is the cabinet, but they had only the shelves. I mean, last time I talked to you, planks, the wooden planks, which is not a cabinet.
Okay.
And they asked me to take it.
Did you?
and
Okay.
do it myself.
Are you calling because you think you paid too much?
No, I am calling because of the very bad experience racial remarks. He says,
Did they finish the job? I know you had a bad experience. Did they finish it?
No, they did not.
Why didn't they finish it?
They said they are canceling it.
Wait, when
And
they
they
say
are
they're canceling it, did they pull the stuff out or did they leave it?
No, this is still in the Home Depot. They are not delivered because the kitchen area is not ready. They need to do all that by step, like remove the
Suze,
old ones.
Do you, may I ask if you know what he's saying? Do you know what he's saying? Can you tell me what? Cause, right. Now, are all the people provided by Home Depot, or did you hire some directly?
No, Home Depot.
Okay. Do you have a contact at Home Depot I can have Deputy Doc call?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on. Kachina, let's do a favor for him. I want the guy at Home Depot to tell us what's going on here, and then Mohan, we can fill in the blanks with you. But let me give this to Doc. This was closed out. I want him to call over there and just talk to them. Mohan, yeah, we're going to try to help you there. Okay, bro?
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Peppermint Frosty.
Some slowdowns into downtown. I-25 northbound, we're looking at speeds in the 20s and 30s between 6th Avenue and Colfax. Southbound I-25 slow itself between I-70 and Colfax. Heading west, some brief congestion due to road work. I-70 westbound between Lowell Boulevard and Sheridan. Watch out for construction in the left lane. Otherwise, your standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Enjoy the warm temperatures as they last. We're seeing highs in the mid-60s today, overnight low of 29. Tomorrow, huge drop in temp. We're looking at a high of 39 with snow. The current temperature in Denver is 65 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The holidays are back, and you know what else is back? Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. So take some time for yourself with this cold and creamy treat this year. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Made in the Shade is the place you want for your window coverings. Why? Because they do it all. Why would you ever try to do that yourself? In fact, not all openings are completely square or rectangle, and that's a nightmare. Made in the Shade comes in measures and estimates for free. They'll try to meet your budget. And then they have a designer to help you do that with the right stuff. Whether it's blind shades, shutters, curtains, they help you. Then they have an installation team when the stuff arrives. You'll love it. One-stop shop, and you don't have to lift a finger. Made in the Shade, the way it should be. DenverShades.co. 720-458-6566. 720-458-6566.
Hey, are you planning to get an updated COVID-19 vaccine?
737 flight sim, beautiful. And landed on the
All right, Mohan, we're going to go ahead and
carrier.
give your information to one
That's
of our
fucking
deputies. His
amazing.
name's Ken. He's going
and
to
he
work this a
successfully
little
did
bit
it.
deeper
Was
for
it a
you, and he'll
pilot?
call you this afternoon
Hey,
after
I'm sure
the
it was
show
a
ends,
pilot.
okay?
Did he
get hooked?
It's a real simulator.
Okay.
He had to have gotten hooked. They get hooked to get
Yeah, go ahead and do that because I don't know
It
why
didn't
it's
look
not
like he
coming
got
up, but make sure that you send it to help@troubleshooter.com.
I would be able to stop in time, though.
It did. Remember, it's a flight simulator.
Yeah.
Shit, I can land on.
Okay.
You could either.
No problem.
We watched that documentary series on
You too. Bye-bye.
the flight that disappeared with
Yeah,
300
he was
people.
tough.
Yeah.
And it's just like amazing that a
Just
whole
10.
plane, 300 people, 10 years later. It's been 10 years.
Where was it?
Malaysia. It was coming out of Malaysia. They think it went down in the Indian Ocean, but there's all these conspiracies.
They thought it went down in
about it.
the Southern Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is impossible to do rescue work there. The
Yeah.
weather's
Enough.
terrible. It's deep.
You should watch the documentary.
They found pieces of it, but people are saying they're not real.
Yeah, like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me a whole plane can disappear like that.
Yep.
With that many people, those poor families having to live with that their whole lives. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
this
the-
looks like fun. This flight sim.
it supposed to be real, like realistic?
Yeah, it's
like if you mess up, it's gonna crash.
It's a full motion flight sim. You can't fake it. The one thing you could take some of the limitations out of it, maybe, but I don't see how they land those jets and they land about that 737 lands at about 110
110 knots.
miles an hour. Well, knots probably or 100. They have to be going that at
How much
least.
different are knots and miles per
Okay, knots are a little more so. The number's less.
But it's about
if there's no wind.
like 100 knots is about 114 miles an hour, something like that.
If there's no wind, right?
Well, hold on.
I mean, you could be doing 100 knots and not moving.
No, but I mean they have to have airflow of 100. Yeah, but that's 110. I thought 120. That's a lot of speed, even with wind. I mean, the most. Let's say you have a 20-knot wind, big deal. Okay, so
I
you
tell
still
you,
have
when those big planes land, when we come home from Vegas or Hawaii or whatever, feels like they're going way faster than 110 miles an hour.
No, they're not.
when they
Well,
land.
depends
It's
on how
like,
big they are. Though I think that's the stall speed of those big jets, but
No, it's more than that.
on some of them it's about 110, 120.
Feels like they're going 400 miles an hour.
It just seems that way.
Thanks for calling the Tom Martino
Well,
Show.
when you're up higher, it's different. I'm talking about landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean too. It's like it feels like it's this whole weight
Here, landing.
brings you back and.
Landing speed.
Do it over
Sure,
777.
it's Keel and Park. K-E-E-L-E.
Oh, you're talking about like. Okay.
And
Okay,
Park,
I'm even- okay, it's
P-A-R-K-E.
150 knots approach speed.
And it's
130 knots at lower
lawkp.com.
weights. So I was about right. They probably landed about
970
I'll bet you they do.
430
If their approach speed is 130 by the time
4231.
they flare out, I'll bet you it's 120. Now, you know what?
430-4231. Yes,
Do boats
970.
use knots too? Is it the same?
A knot
Is
is
airplane knots?
All knots are the same.
All knots.
Nautical
a knot
mile.
is.
Thank you.
It's
a
one-
nautical mile.
It's a nautical mile, right?
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show.
Nautical mile.
I got to spend an hour in the real simulator at United. It was the coolest hour.
Sure. What's
It
your
was
name?
so much because the thing.
10 seconds, guys.
Yeah.
No phone call, no hassle, no wait. PlumLineServices.com. That's PlumLineServices.com. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So let's talk about some of the questions that come up with estate planning. We've already established that you should see an attorney even for a simple will, so it's not misinterpreted. But there are truly issues that you have to address that people don't like talking about. Right now, we have a threshold of about $16 million before any estate tax is paid. That drops down when and how. Let's talk. Jim Park from Keel and Park, lawkp.com. When does it drop down? Can you get closer to your mic, please? Just
Yeah,
pull that
January
mic.
1st, 2026 is when the change happens there. And even
It
then,
goes from 16 to 5.
16 to 5. Even then, most people are going to fall below that $5 million threshold. But if you have farmland, if you've got a family business.
A lot of people are not. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have home equity now. They have some savings. They have retirement plans. Is that only, let me ask this. Does that mean the entire state value, or do they exclude things in retirement plans and other things? Are there things excluded? Are annuities excluded? Like, what's considered the in that figure? Let's say it goes down to $5 million. What's considered in that $5 million?
Everything that you own at the time of your death. So what would be excluded would be life insurance policies that are not payable to your estate. That could be excluded. And if you have anything in an irrevocable trust, that can also be excluded.
So that is why someone would have life insurance payable to their kids so their kids can pay the estate tax.
Yeah. Well, and typically there's a type of trust that you set up to cover that, to make sure that the money goes to the kids and it can be used to provide liquidity to pay taxes if necessary, or to just fund their lifestyle.
Yeah, but it would be nicer to have a life insurance policy do it, then it doesn't come out of your assets.
Absolutely.
Do a lot of people do that?
That's a very common technique. And with the right life insurance advisor and the right legal advisor, you can do some pretty slick things there.
Okay, So if you do go over 5, the 5 is excluded and only the amount over 5 is taxed. Is that right?
Correct.
So let's say you have, and I know people, you may think I'll never have that much, but think the other way. Let's say somebody has $8 million with all in retirement, land, real estate. $3 million is taxable. How much is it taxable?
So it can ratchet up to as much as 45%, which is a pretty ridiculous amount of money to be paying in estate taxes. Now, where that really hurts is when you're looking at a family farm or when you're looking at a family business that has to be sold or liquidated in order to accommodate that. There are some protections that you can get spreading that out over a period of time, but at the end of the day, the tax has to be paid.
Okay, Dave, welcome to the show. What's going on, Dave? What's happening?
Hey, Tom, how you doing? Hey, you had a gentleman on about 3 weeks ago, I believe. He was talking about Chase Bank would get back his 100 and something thousand.
Okay, here's what he said. Here's what he said. I believe he said that they locked up his money when he tried to make a transfer one account to another, and they flagged it as suspicious and locked it up. You're absolutely right. I told him to call the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. That did not help him. I think he said he's still having trouble. We could not figure it out, but we have learned that a lot of banks are doing this now. They really are. All they're doing is they're saying that there's suspicious activity, and they get to keep your money. I mean, for a long time. I don't know. Actually, I haven't followed up on that. Is that what you were calling about?
Yeah, because I'm thinking of opening an account with Chase. Not that kind of money, but
every bank is doing it. They are.
Wow.
Banks are doing this as a matter of a routine. I hate to say this. What they're saying is they're saying that there's suspicious activity. What that is, no one knows. They don't tell you. And then they lock up your money, or they stop doing business with you and they write you a check for your money. That would be better. And and people don't know why. Some people are suspecting they're being what's called debanked by people who are not politically correct. For example, during the COVID crisis, they had what was called the misinformation dozen. They flagged people who they said was giving out wrong information. One of those people in Florida was Dr. Mercola, drmercola.com or Mercola.com, whatever. This guy has genuine, wonderful health-related information. Yes, he has a lot of conspiracy theories, blah, 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 but he was flagged for his health information, and he was flagged as misinformation, and they took him down off of every platform there is on social media, and they also debanked him. Chase Bank, as a matter of fact, took all of his banking away, all of it. And they claimed there was suspicious activity. What they did was all of his employees, all of his businesses were taken down. It's called being debanked. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
But I don't know what happened with that case. I have to look at it. I really have to look at it. Did we go to Josh already? Josh, go ahead. Do you have a question? Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, I just got a curious one. You talk a lot about, which I appreciate, the inheriting a tax basis and not doing a quitclaim deed and all that, how it can screw up.
You don't try to take your parents' house while they're alive. It can really screw up taxes. It's better to do a beneficiary's deed, because what you want is the value of the day of death, and that day of death value is presumably higher than when they bought it. And therefore, you'll have less taxes to pay if you sell it on the gain. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, no, exactly. Thank you very much. My question is, what about a scenario, as rare as it might be, where the property has actually lost value? If you quit claim it at the higher basis, if you're following me, and then does that person, can they take a loss when they sell it for the lower value and then actually carry that loss forward to their own taxes? Does that make sense?
I know exactly what you're saying. Everyone assumes that when someone dies, their the price of the home at the day of death will be higher than when they acquired it. But let's do the scenario. Let's say someone bought a house and they bought it for $500,000, and something went wrong and the house is now worth $300,000. So if the person inherits it at the day of death, they get the $300,000 valuation. By the way, it's always going to benefit them for the day of death because the day of death is the only thing that counts. Because on the day of death, it becomes your property for that new basis, and then you get to sell it and claim whatever it is. So if it goes up or down, on the day of death value still benefits the heir. However, the substance is you didn't invest and lose money. But I don't know, Jim. You have to tell me, what is that legality there, do you think?
Yeah, so the basis is going to be determined on the date that you take ownership of the property.
He doesn't inherit I thought you inherit the original basis.
So if he receives the property before the person dies, then he's going to take what's called carryover basis, which is the basis that the person that gifted the property to him had. If you wait until the date
he inherited it, right?
Yeah, so if you wait until death to receive the property, then you take the either step up or step down in basis, which is the basis that is equal to the fair market value on the date of death.
Right. But what he's asking is this. If you inherit the guy's basis because you take a quitclaim during that guy's life, let's say he paid $500, you inherit his $500 basis, right?
You do.
Okay. Now he goes and the guy dies. He inherited this house, right? And the guy died. When the guy died, that it had gone down in value. Or let's just forget about the guy dying. He inherited the $500,000 basis. Let's say he sells it and it's only worth $300,000. Can that guy take a loss because he inherited a $500,000 basis but only sold it for $300,000?
Yeah, because the basis is determined on the day he received the gift, and so anything that happens after that point, he's entitled to the gain or the loss.
But
it has to be reported on his return.
Even though he did not experience the loss, the guy who gave it to him is the one that actually lost on it. But
yeah, but he only gave him $300, not $500.
He did, but on the day, but the guy that gets it as a gift inherits the original basis.
Yeah, you inherit the basis that carries over from the person that owned the property that gave it to you.
So, Mark, if you owned your property, you paid $500, and you gave it to your son in a quitclaim, your son's basis is $500. What Jim is saying is, if your son now sells it for $300 because of market conditions, not by choice, but by market conditions, he actually has a $200,000 loss?
Yeah, so here's the challenge. The character of that loss is going to be determined by how the property was used. So if the son is living there, it's a personal residence, it may be ordinary income. If it's something that he was using as an investment after it was given to him, it may be a capital loss, and there's some limits on how much of that capital loss you can take unless you're offsetting it against other losses or other gains.
He'd realize the loss.
But as a personal loss, can he take it on as a personal loss against your income, or would it have to be a business loss?
Yeah, and so he would want to talk to his accountant there, but this is a personal asset unless he's put it into a business.
So you could benefit from that loss,
you could,
so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, impact traffic.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah. The reality is it very rarely ever happens that way.
Know. It could happen in some states where I could see it happening.
Well, it could be they buy it for $500,000. They own it outright. They don't have an insurance policy in place. There's a fire, and now it's only worth $250,000. I mean, I'm sure that stuff happens all the time. Or how about flood damage in Florida or Louisiana, where the insurance only taps out at $250,000? It's a $500,000 house, and they don't have money to fix it. I don't think it's just market conditions, is what I'm saying. I think the property condition is probably more
and
likely.
Park, Keele. E-L-E and Park, P-A-R-K-E.
Okay.
Yep. And they're at
If you want the
970.
lowest price ever on water heaters, you got to go to europlumbingcolorado.net. There's going to be a slight increase right after the first. You want to get in now to get the cheapest, lowest prices. 40-gallon water tanks, $12.99. 50 gallons, $13.99. The old one torn out and taken away. I love it. The best deals ever. europlumbingcolorado.net. Give them a test. You'll love it. 303-668-6844. 303-668-6844.
It's 970. I don't know what kind of phone you have. Yes, you would have to dial a 1 before that.
Bucky's is about to open. You gonna make it up there? We should do a family field trip up there, Tommy.
What is it?
Bucky's? You never heard of it.
What's Bucky's?
They're in Fort Collins.
It's a big convenience store.
Oh, it's bigger than a
okay.
Walmart.
They're at truck stops, right?
Oh, it's bigger than a Walmart. Like you go in there, they have
Yeah,
smoked barbecue.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there, all kinds of snacks.
But aren't they always connected
Wills
with
Trust,
truck stops?
Planning.
Yeah, they got like 150
They're
gas
like,
pumps.
They're huge. But going inside one, Tom.
Yes, they
so
do
fun.
service Denver.
Wouldn't you agree with that? They're
Mhm.
fun. They have
Lots of
so
food.
much.
Look at
different
Harvard
things.
hates Jews. They're flying that around.
Probably not.
Well, there's nothing not true about it.
God, they are so.
She's going to subpoena them back, her right there.
That woman's a firecracker.
She's going to subpoena the 3 back, she says. They're trying
I
to get
would
it done
not
by
know.
tomorrow.
You would have to call them. Jim.
It's hard to believe some of those questions they couldn't answer.
My name's
That
Kelly,
woman's
yes.
the one that did worse than Harvard right there.
Have you ever watched Kennedy, the senator from Louisiana,
Okay.
grill somebody in a House hearing committee?
No one drills them better than the doctor. What's
No.
his name?
Oh,
Look-
I like him too.
From
You mean-
Tennessee.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. He's good though.
You ought to
Paul
listen.
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
No.
No.
No, the father
Paul
and son
Ryan's the
team.
attorney.
Father and son. Father retired, son still in Senate. What's his name?
Not Rand Paul.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rand Paul. I said Paul.
Yeah.
Rand Paul. Sorry, it is.
You ought to watch John Kennedy, the senator from Louisiana. He's amazing. He just tears these people to shreds. Go on YouTube and just watch some of his questioning of these candidates.
Well, Bush. I mean, we're gonna have this guy for another 4 years. Get used to him, Biden.
We're not gonna. He's not gonna be here.
Oh, but he'll beat Trump. There's so much hate for Trump. Look at Liz Cheney single-handedly is saying, you know what? Now she's back on CNN. She is the sweetheart of the liberal media right now. I'll tell you that. They love her.
I hate politics.
He was very adamant that Trump would never win the first.
He won't win this time. I wish he would, but he won't.
I was very adamant that that wouldn't happen as well. I thought he'd never make it out of the primaries, but
And he'll never win this one, though. That's for sure. There's too much hate and animosity.
Okie dokie.
Well, they can't. You can't reelect Biden.
He will be, though, unfortunately. It's just like him to retire. You hear the vice president's going to retire by choice. She's going to say it's her choice. Listen to this. Here's my scenario. The vice president's going to retire by choice. Okay, so it doesn't look like she's being pushed out. Then they're going to get somebody in there, a firecracker for vice president, and then he's going to win and resign.
Yep.
2 years, maybe a year or two later.
And so then the VP.
So he's going to live, in your scenario, Biden lives to
President can
108.
resign.
How old's he live to at this
Nixon
point?
did.
What do you mean 108? I just said
Yeah,
he's
but I
going to
thought he
win
was up on-
in 24 and
Yeah, I
probably
guess.
retire
So
in
he's going to
25.
be 85 still walking around.
No, well, I don't know if it was. Oh, you think he'll
Hardly
die
walking.
before the 4 years?
I don't think he's going to make it to the election. Yes. How many times do I got to say
Now,
that?
Mark, I'll
he
take
might
that
be in
bet.
hospice.
I'll take that bet anytime. If you want
The
to
bet is simple. He is not going to be the president. It's a simple bet.
How about this? So he'll never be president after this cycle is what you're saying.
I don't even know what
What I
does
mean
that
is-
mean?
what I mean is
he's
what-
not going to win the election next year. That's as easy as it gets.
What? Okay.
There's nothing more to it. He's not going to win. I don't know if he dies. I don't know if he's down to one leg. I don't know if his brain is on a different table. I don't know. What I'm saying is he's not going to be president.
You are so wrong.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you on one thing, Mark.
Yeah.
Physically, he's not going to be. It's his mental capacity, not his physical capacity.
It doesn't matter if he falls down.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
There are endless options for hair restoration in Denver. But how about a simple solution that's guaranteed to work? It's an easy one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. That's what you get with world-renowned advanced hair restoration. Address years of thinning, receding, or balding and get your confidence back. With advanced hair, you get confidence going into your treatment too, as they guarantee that your new hair is going to grow. Advanced Hair is home to the best medical staff and technology in hair restoration anywhere, changing tens of thousands of lives. So schedule your free consultation today. And if you qualify, receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Simply call 720-459-HAIR. Now, you've been waiting for the right option, and here it is. But this is a limited time offer. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. 720-459-HAIR, or view the before and after photos at advancedhair.com.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen.